I made it. 18 years of waiting, and I finally made it to the main quest. Okay, let me back up. I'm Subai. 18 years ago, I got yanked into this world where everyone becomes a lord at age 18 and goes to fight monsters in some godly realm. No parents, no house, no money, no girlfriend. Just me, my white school uniform, and a deep, burning rage at the universe. Today's the day. The system finally activates. Ding. Teleportation starting. Blue light everywhere. My eyes go black. When I open them again, I'm standing in some giant forest with trees thicker than my outstretched arms. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Totally normal. I get my starter pack. One lord's mansion, one random barracks. I slap that mansion down before any monsters show up to ruin my day, and what pops out is a shack. A broken little shack. This is my mansion? Can people even live in this thing? Whatever. Moving on. Time for the talent draw. This is the big one. The thing that decides if I'm going to be a hero or forest food. Most people get garbage white or green talents. I spin the wheel, heart pounding. Gold light explodes everywhere. Ding. Congratulations. You got the supreme unique talent. Chaos bestowal. I don't even know what to say. I've never heard of this talent. Did the teacher skip this chapter? Was this not in the syllabus? All I know is, short name, big power. That's just science. The talent lets me draw 3 cards a day, keep 1, and I'm guaranteed at least 1 gold tier, unique, card. I can also slap these cards onto literally anyone. Card stack 2. This thing is busted and I love it. First draw, and the universe just hands me. Card 1. Divine tier barracks, gold. Turns any barracks into a super divine talent factory. The card's own description basically says, whatever you want, come take it from my warehouse. I don't even know what tier is above, legendary, but apparently, I just skipped the whole ladder. Card 2. Eternal companionship, gold. Every hero or unit I summon gets 100% loyalty, forever, no exceptions, plus hidden bonuses the more loyal they get. In this world, low loyalty means your own troops literally stab you in the back. This card means, nobody backstabs Subai. Ever. Card 3. Golden kidneys, blue, and I quote, never weak down there, unlimited stamina, 200% energy recovery. The card review literally says, the stronger you get, the more suffering you'll endure, with a creepy little laugh. I was about to call this card trash until I read what it actually does, and then I smiled so hard my face hurt. Nobody is allowed to call this card weak. Not on my watch. I fuse eternal companionship and golden kidneys straight into myself. Warm gold and blue light floods my body. All my tiredness disappears, and I feel like I could punch a cow to death with one hand. I probably look like some elegant immortal now. Probably. Then the barracks card. It asks me, fuse it into the barracks or the mansion? My gut says barracks, but wait. That's obviously a trap. If I fuse it into one barracks, I get one good barracks. But if I fuse it into the mansion itself, does that mean every barracks I ever build becomes divine tier? Mansion. Definitely the mansion. I didn't survive 18 years of poverty to fall for the beginner trap. Gold light wraps around my busted little shack. It still looks like a dump on the outside, but something about it just feels different now. Sacred, almost. And the second the fusion finishes, my random starting barracks starts glowing too, like it's about to change into something completely different. Guess we're about to find out what. So the system keeps pinging me. Do you want to draw your starting unit? Like, 8 times. I was busy fanboying over my talent cards, so I kept ignoring it. Then it pinged me again, and my thumb just pressed yes on autopilot. The shack starts shaking. All that gold light I fused into it earlier gets sucked right in. When the glow clears, my busted little barracks isn't a shack anymore. It's a full-on white jade palace with giant angel wing statues on the roof, shedding little golden feathers like it's auditioning for a perfume commercial. This is the divine tier barracks? This thing has more style than my entire 18 years combined. I check the stats. Holy Angel Barracks quality. Super Divine Building HP. 1 billion A billion. With AB, I count the zeros twice because I genuinely think my eyes are broken. The card review just says, paraphrased, with your pathetic combat power, you could grind on this building your whole life and not scratch the paint. Rude. Accurate, but rude. Also, apparently I need Divine Source coins to recruit more angels after the free trial week, which is a currency I have literally never heard of in my life. I only know gold, silver, and copper coins. That's the whole economy here. Divine source coins sound like something way above my pay grade. So naturally my plan is, ignore the problem, recruit for free while I still can, deal with money later. Very fiscally responsible of me. So I recruit. The barracks doors swing open, blinding white gold light pours out, and the first thing I see is legs. Long, smooth, unfairly perfect legs. Then 10 holy angels walk out, each one like 6 foot something. And holy is doing a lot of heavy lifting in that name because their armor covers maybe 50% of what armor is supposed to cover. Ribbon stockings. Heels that look suspiciously like designer shoes. I don't know who designed angel uniforms in this world, but I need to shake their hand and also report them to someone. My nose gets hot. You know the feeling. We don't need to elaborate. Then the barracks glows even harder, and out walks an angel half a head taller than the rest, wearing even less than the other 10. Somehow, her armor is just vibes at this point. A ribbon here, a metal line there, structural integrity not guaranteed. This is Alicia, and apparently I got her as a bonus hero just for recruiting from this barracks for the first time. She kneels in front of me, voice all soft and sweet like cotton candy. Master, Alicia is willing to follow you for all eternity and fight in your name. Buddy. My knees almost gave out right there. Stay strong, Subai. Do not simp on day one. I check her stats to distract myself. Talent. Immortal Divine. A tier I have never even heard mentioned. Like, ever, skills. A whole list of God-tier abilities with names like Eternal Sanctity and Divine Judgment, Legion Buff. 1,200% training, 1,200%. EXP 1,200% march speed, 1,000% all stats to my whole army stats. Boosted by 1,000% across the board. The card review just goes. Unprecedented Immortal Divine Talent Hero, unknown potential. Nobody alive knows how strong she'll become. I'm just standing here. Mouth open, lip trembling. 18 years of suffering, and the universe just handed me a literal angel army and their general, and all I did was press a button by accident. Best misclick of my life. Okay, let me actually break down these numbers because I think my brain just short-circuited. A normal lord's best case starting unit, if they're lucky, has like 125 HP, 13 attack. That's the good outcome for normal people. Alicia? 32,000 HP, 3,200 attack. That's not better. That's a different sport entirely. We're talking 200 times stronger than the lucky kids. And the Legion buff, 1,000% to every single stat, 1,200% to experience gain. For context, I remember hearing in class that some legendary mythic hero once got a buff of 300% to one stat, and people called that broken. My girl just casually does 1,000% to all of them like it's a Tuesday. I'm so far ahead of the curve I can't even see the curve anymore. I tell everyone to stand up already. The kneeling is making me uncomfortable on a personal level. Alicia lights up at that, gets up, and immediately wraps herself around me from behind like a very affectionate, very dangerous koala. Going, Master, Alicia will protect you forever. Anyone who hurts you gets cursed by the holy angels for life. She's soft. She smells nice. I'm 6 feet tall, and somehow I still feel like a small, overwhelmed child right now. Holy angel, my entire foot. This woman is more temptress than holy. I check the other angels' stats just to recover my composure. Big mistake, they're also insane. One named Tuya has 11,000 HP, 1,100 attack, on top tier, super divine, talent, with the same god rank skill list. The card review basically goes, what more do you want? This is just a regular unit. Heroes get double these base numbers. I check all 10 angels. Every single one is stacked. 0 weak links. This squad could probably solo the entire beginner zone by lunchtime. Then the system goes, you need to pay your troops a daily wage now. My stomach drops. I remember the lesson. Higher tier units cost more, and the worse their loyalty, the more you have to pay to keep them happy. My angels are super divine and basically immortal divine tier. I'm bracing for a bill that's going to financially destroy me before I even start. The bill comes in at 1 copper coin per angel per day. I just stare at the screen. 1 copper coin? The system literally adds a note saying the angels insisted on the bare legal minimum because they don't want their lord spending too much on them. I almost cry for real. These angels are looking out for me. Me, the guy who's had nothing for 18 years. I make an oath on the spot. These girls are getting a glow-up. Mansion edition. The second I have the resources. Alicia notices I've gone quiet and tilts her head down at me, all worried. Master, was I asking for too much? We really don't want to be a burden. That's just the rule's minimum, you know. Are you kidding me? I say, patting her hair. You're worth way more than that. I promise I'll get you all a good life. She practically melts, hugs me tighter, rests her chin on my head, and goes full soft mode. Alicia loves Master the most. My soul leaves my body for a solid 2 seconds. Where do you even find a hero this gorgeous and this clingy? Meanwhile, the other 9 angels are watching this whole thing happen and visibly vibrating with jealousy, clearly wanting their own turn to cuddle, but too scared of Alicia's death glare to step forward. I have to gently peel myself away before something happens that I cannot take back. All right, let's go earn some resources, then I'm upgrading everyone's housing and building whatever you guys want. Alicia's eyes go all soft again. Thank you, Master. I open a portal to the beginner resource dungeon. Today's flavor is wood. Apparently, the dungeon rotates resource types daily. I give the order to move out, and the second the angels step through the portal, a holy light wraps around each of them and bam, full white gold battle armor, head to toe, not a single inch of skin showing. Even Alicia goes from scandalous outfit to fully armored holy warrior in half a second. I let out a relieved laugh. Okay, now you guys look like angels are supposed to look. We step through the portal and land in a forest dungeon. Giant trees, dim light, that damp leafy smell. The whole spooky forest level aesthetic looks completely normal. Except my angels immediately go full battle mode, glaring at the trees like they personally owe them money. Then I see them, tiny tree bark goblin guys, less than 5 feet tall, carrying little wooden sticks like they're about to start a fight they cannot win. With sprites. Their stats are basically 120 HP, 8 attack, which is, and I cannot stress this enough, what a normal starting unit is supposed to look like. So this is what regular people get. Cute. Alicia goes, all sweet. Master, leave these to us. Go ahead and pillage, I guess. I say, because what else do you say to that? And then it's just a massacre. 10 angels take off flying, light swords glowing gold, and just start cutting through with sprites like they're going through a buffet line. One sprite doesn't even get to scream before it's split in half and turns into sawdust. This isn't a fight, it's a chore they're doing while bored. Honestly, not even surprised. With stats like theirs, if they couldn't one-shot these guys, that would be the weird outcome. I'm just casually walking through the forest with my hands in my pockets, Alicia glued to my side like a very deadly bodyguard, occasionally flicking her wrist to instantly delete any sprite that gets too close to me. Very relaxing morning, all things considered. Then I notice, these trees are huge, way bigger than anything back at my place. And I have 0 population in my territory right now to actually chop them down and bring the wood home, which is honestly a tragedy. Alicia catches my frown and asks what's wrong. I explain my, so much free wood, so few hands, problem. She just smiles. That's not an issue, Master. We don't have a lumberjacking talent, but we can just cut them down anyway. She swings her sword. One swing. An entire massive tree falls over and instantly turns into hundreds of units of wood. We may not have the talent for logging, she says, but that doesn't mean we can't do it. I'm standing there like, that's not how talents are supposed to work. You're not even supposed to be good at this. And yet here we are, one slash, entire clearing wiped flat. Time passes. My angels keep glowing gold and torching whole sections of forest, sprites included, trees included. Would numbers go up faster than I can read them? Eventually, the dungeon timer hits an hour and ends. Results. Wood sprites killed. 14,321 wood collected. 105,432 units resource cards. 432 common. 124 elite. 12 rare. 1 epic overall grade. SSS bonus. 1x SSS tier dungeon chest. I just stare at the number. 100,000 units of wood. From one dungeon run. And hundreds of bonus cards on top. Where even a basic wood card is worth 100 units. and the tiers just keep adding a zero each step up, meaning that one epic card alone is worth 100,000 units by itself. This isn't a profit. This is generational wealth. Alicia, watching me practically vibrate with joy, lights up too. Master, did the angels perform to your satisfaction? Your praise is the highest gift you could give us. Amazing, Alicia. You're all my most precious treasures. I say this with zero hesitation and zero awareness of how that sentence sounds out loud. In my defense, I'm currently drowning in more lumber than a small country, so context clues are not my top priority right now. The portal opens back up, glowing soft blue, and we all head home. Back at my territory, I immediately check the hall. The wood's all there, the resource cards are sitting in my inventory, and there's one extra thing waiting quietly in my storage. A glowing gold chest. SSS tier. Apparently the first one to ever appear in 200 years of this world's history. I have absolutely no idea what's inside it. I'm about to find out. Before I even touch that mystery chest, I check on my angels first. Priorities, you know. They've all ditched the armor and are back in there. Let's call it tactical minimal outfits. But more importantly, they leveled up. All 10 battle angels plus Alicia went from Black Iron 1-star to Black Iron 3-star. I checked Tuya's stats out of curiosity, and yeah, everything jumped 30 to 40%. Normal units gain maybe 1 point of stat per level. Mine gained 10 points base before the multipliers even kick in. So one level up basically turns into a stat explosion. Okay, so the dungeon doesn't just print money. It also levels my units. This place is a cheat code disguised as a forest. New plan. Just run this dungeon on repeat forever. Genius. Flawless plan. Definitely no downsides. Then I actually sit down and do the math on my loot, and I have to walk away from my screen for a second. 105,432 wood from the run itself, plus the resource cards. Common, elite, rare, epic. When you convert them all to actual wood units, it comes out to 492,632 total units of wood. For context, new lords out here are struggling to scrape together 100 units of wood in an entire day. I just casually generated 500,000 units on day one. I'm not playing the same game as everyone else. I might not even be playing the same sport. Then I open the SSS chest. The actual main event. Open. Out comes 100x rare wood resource cards, translating to another million units of wood, because of course, a unique tier wonder. The lumberjack statue my wood total just casually crosses 1.49 million units. I don't even have words anymore. I'm just making sounds. The wonder, though, that's the real prize. Wonders are super rare buildings with special effects, and they're ranked common, elite, rare, epic, legendary, mythic, with mythic being the theoretical max because, shocker, nobody taught me anything above that. But mine isn't even on that scale. It's unique, which, going by vibes alone, is clearly a tier above mythic. The lumberjack statue gives 200% lumberjacking efficiency for my whole population. 200% would gain 200% damage against wood-type enemies. I place it down immediately. Gold light flashes, and the statue forms. And it's a bald, scrawny, hunched-over little guy holding a chainsaw, looking like he's personally got beef with every tree in existence. Okay, this guy's got character, not gonna lie. I move on, because I've got bigger fish to fry. Upgrading my territory. First lord in the region to upgrade their base gets a bonus reward, and honestly, free stuff is free stuff. I'll take it. Upgrade cost, 100 wood, 100 copper coins. I don't even blink. I cash in my one starting gold coin for silver and copper to cover it, dump the resources in, and, ding. Territory upgraded successfully. Tier 0 to Tier 1, Level 1, my shack, turns into a slightly less busted shack. Great. At least it won't leak when it rains now, I guess. Then the system chimes in one more time. Congratulations. You are the first lord in this region to reach Tier 1, Level 1. Bonus reward. A better lord's mansion, first place. Already. On day 1. I didn't even try. First to upgrade in the region? Okay, that's a nice surprise. I check my mansion reward, and it turns out to just be a skin. Same stats, new look. I get 3 options. Modern villa, sleek, normal, Western fantasy castle, big, dramatic, demon ruins, creepy, also somehow still rubble. I pick the castle. Option 1 feels way too out of place for a world with monsters than magic. Option 3 is literally just ruins with extra steps. I can't live in rubble. That defeats the whole purpose of a house. Castle it is. Gold light wraps the shack, and BAM, full stone fortress, twin towers, glowing gem on top, the works. Comfort stat 20, which apparently boosts my villagers' happiness and gives a small combat buff, and stacks infinitely with no cap. So this is just going to keep snowballing. Great. Alicia walks in beside me, eyes lighting up at the big fancy hall. Master, congratulations on the new home. Yeah. Get ready. We've got an upgrade challenge dungeon coming up. Sure enough, the system announces it immediately. Every territory upgrade triggers a mandatory challenge dungeon. 10 minutes to enter or the upgrade gets reversed, and all my resources get wasted. Goal: defeat one enemy territory of the same tier within an hour. First clear gets bonus rewards, F to S rank. For most lords, this is a real test. For me, I have Alicia. This is basically a free reward dispenser. Let's get this done quick, I tell my squad. Yes, my lord. They say in unison, armoring up in a flash of gold light. We step into the dungeon. Open plains, an enemy base in the distance that looks exactly like my old shack used to look. Guarding it, 10 salamander troops and a salamander chief. I check the chief's stats out of curiosity, 292 HP, 30 attack. A tough hero that's a real problem for some lords. For a normal lord, sure, scary. For me, the challenge starts. Alicia doesn't even hesitate. Raging wave, cleave heaven and earth, one sword swing. The slash literally tears through space itself toward the enemy chief, who just stands there, mouth open, watching his own death arrive in slow motion. The shockwave from the hit is described as basically a small nuclear explosion. The whole enemy base, building and all, gets vaporized into dust. The other 10 salamanders? Not even ash. Just gone. No funeral required. I'm standing there in stunned silence. I thought I'd already recalibrated my expectations for how strong my squad is. I was still wrong. I was being too modest. Alicia struts back over to me, all proud, like a kid showing off a good report card. Master, wasn't that fast? I did exactly what you asked. I said fast, not erase the entire map. Alicia. She tilts her head, completely unbothered. Master, this is just a normal divine tier skill. Everyone uses it as a basic attack around here. I have nothing to say to that. Just wow. Incredible. Cool. Result: S rank, challenge cleared. And then the system asks if I want to push further into a hidden bonus round, where enemy difficulty scales up the more bases I clear in the remaining time. Naturally, no hesitation from me. Continue. Why wouldn't I? I've got a one-woman apocalypse on my team. What follows is just a montage of destruction. New base spawns, Alicia says, raging wave. Base disappears, repeat. Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3. All the way to Tier 9. Enemy units leveling all the way up to Black Iron 9-star, Bronze 9-star. Doesn't matter. Each base goes down in 1 to 2 seconds flat. I'm basically just walking around the rubble of 60 different lords' dreams while waiting for the next target to spawn. 20 bases. 30, 40, 50. By the time the final base, Bronze 9-star, gets erased, the timer runs out. Total bases destroyed. 60 final grade. SSS reward. 1x SSS tier territory upgrade chest. At this point, I'm not even shocked anymore by how broken my angels are. All 60 bases, one shot, every time. And that's with Alicia supposedly only using half her real strength because of the tier suppression mechanic against higher level enemies. Half-strength Alicia still casually deletes Bronze 9-star heroes like it's nothing. Alright, mission's done. Let's head home. I say, keeping it short. No resources to grab here besides the final chest, so there's no reason to linger. Gold light flashes, and we're back home. Back home. I ignore the fact that Alicia is being a little handsy and focus on the actually important thing. That glowing SSS chest is calling my name. Everyone gathers around. Alicia and the squad, all curious, all quiet, watching like good little soldiers. Such a difference from the literal apocalypse they were 10 minutes ago. Open. Golden light explodes. Loot drop. 100 gold coins, a divine tier building blueprint. Glory outpost. Let's talk about that gold for a second. 1 gold coin is precious early game currency. Supposedly even S-rank chests barely hand out one measly gold coin if you're lucky. I just got 100 from a single dungeon clear. I'm basically printing my own economy at this point. The blueprint is the real sleeper hit though. Buildings besides the basics need blueprints to construct, and blueprints are absurdly rare drops. I check the stats and almost choke. Glory Outpost. Divine Tier 20 Comfort to the whole territory, 20 Loyalty for all units, and Heroes 100% to all stats for units, and Heroes 100%. Recovery Speed. I was literally about to throw together some basic peasant housing for my angels to sleep in tonight because I had nothing better, and the universe just handed me a 5-star resort instead. Who's out here gifting buildings like this? Nobody. That's who. This isn't a freebie. This is a flex. And the math is insane. Alicia's Legion skill already gives 1000% to all stats. Add this building's 100% on top, and my entire squad's combat power basically doubles again. Stack on stack on stack. But honestly, the loyalty boost might be the real MVP here. Loyalty normally only grows through slow daily bonding. There's barely any other way to raise it. This building just hands 20 for free, permanently, and it scales further with upgrades. Most lords start at 50 loyalty. This alone would push them to 70 and basically eliminate the risk of a backstab. An upgrade cost? 100 wood, 1 gold coin. I have 1.5 million units of wood and 100 gold coins sitting around doing nothing. This is a joke at this point. I place it down immediately. Bigger explosion of gold light than even the castle upgrade. The whole territory shakes a little. When it clears, a gorgeous white gold marble outpost with a domed roof and a giant glowing gem on top. Inside, spacious rooms for each angel, comfy as anything. Alicia's eyes go all soft. Master, this building is so pretty. Will we get to rest here from now on? Yeah, this'll be your place from now on. Can Master live here with me too? I completely zoned in on the building stats panel and not actually listening. Just go. Sure, no problem. The other angels immediately light up and start whispering excitedly to each other, throwing me looks I do not register because I am, again, very busy reading numbers off a screen. Real smooth, Subai. I start dumping resources into upgrades because why not? I'm rich now. Level 1. 100 wood, 1 gold. Level 2. 200 wood, 2 gold. Level 3. 500 wood, 5 gold. Keep going, keep going. I'm rich now, baby. I don't stop until the outpost hits Tier 1, Level 7. Total cost, 56 gold and 5,650 wood. Next level alone wants 3,500 more wood and 35 more gold. But hey, I've got the bank account for it. This is going great. This is going so great. I may have accidentally agreed to move in with an angel, but that's a problem for later Subai to deal with. I'm checking the upgrade math and realize getting the outpost to Tier 1. Level 10 is going to cost roughly 100 gold coins. Even with my current fortune, that's a bit much right now, so I check the panel one more time. Glory Outpost, Tier 1, Level 7 HP, 210,000 housing, 210 units, Comfort 27, Loyalty 27, all stats 107%, Recovery 107% solid. Real solid. This thing solved one of my 2 biggest headaches, where my precious angels sleep tonight. Go rest up, recover your strength, I tell the squad. The challenge dungeon's on a 1-hour cooldown anyway, so I figure now's a good time to check the chat channels. I haven't had a single free second since I landed in this world. Yes, Master, they all say, heading off to the outpost looking extremely pleased with their new 5-star accommodations. I head into my castle, sit down at the big chair like a guy who definitely belongs there, and pull up the system panel. What I do not notice is a 6-foot-something figure sneaking up behind me. Soft hands land on my shoulders. I look up and there's Alicia's face. Way too close, way too pretty. Alicia? I told you to go rest. Master needs to relax too, don't worry about me. I recover fast. And then she just starts massaging my shoulders. It's genuinely amazing. All the tension melts right out of me, and I'm just sitting there enjoying it like a man with zero impulse control left in his body. Then she leans down and kisses my cheek. Would Master like to try a different kind of massage? I don't even get a chance to process the kiss before round 2 starts. I cannot survive this. I genuinely cannot. Okay, moving past that for my own sanity. Let's talk about the chat channels. because that's the actual point of opening this panel. There's a world channel with almost 220 million people in it, and a regional channel with about 10,000. Out of the billions of people on this planet, roughly 200 million get pulled into the Lord trial every year, and only a tiny fraction of those actually survive long enough to matter. Dying during the beginner protection period just costs you your Lord status. Dying after that protection ends? That's actually permanent. Even the gods can't bring you back from that one. Cheerful stuff. I skipped the world channel. Too many people, too much noise, and check regional chat instead, since that's where the real useful gossip lives. The second I open it, messages are flooding in faster than I can read. Someone's basic unit got one-shot by a wild monster the second it left the safe zone. Someone got a rare tier talent, which is supposed to be good, but their unit talent rolled garbage, so they can't even clear the resource dungeon. Someone spent the entire morning chopping wood and got a grand total of 30 units. 30. They're begging the market for more. A guy's friend tried to rush outside the safe zone to grab resources and got completely wiped, squad gone, territory destroyed, eliminated. Permanently out of the game. People are offering 10 copper coins for just 1 unit of wood and getting laughed at, because apparently the going rate is a full silver coin per unit of wood, and even then nobody wants to sell. I scroll through this slowly, filtering out the noise, and something clicks in my head. Everyone, and I mean everyone, is desperate for wood. People are paying insane prices for scraps of it, which means wood right now is basically liquid gold, and I'm sitting on 1.49 million units of it. Just in storage, doing nothing, collecting dust, except wood doesn't collect dust. It collects more value the longer everyone else stays broke. Why would I let that sit there when I could be the guy who single-handedly fixes, or more accurately, profits enormously off of, the entire region's wood shortage? Time to go check out this trading market. Time to go capitalist. I open the regional trading market and flip over to the wood tab, and immediately my eyebrows go up. The market's full of weird junk listed in exchange for wood. People are literally trading worn clothing items. That's how desperate things are. But actual wood sellers? Basically none. Base price for wood is supposed to be 1 copper per unit. Right now, it's spiked to 1 silver per unit. That's 100 times markup. And people are still bidding it up, some offering 1.5 silver, and still not finding sellers. I get it instantly. Everyone needs 100 wood to upgrade their base, and most people can scrounge up the silver, just not the actual wood. The shortage is brutal. So, no hesitation. I list 100,000 units of wood at 1 silver each. Ding. Listed 100,000 wood at 1 silver/unit. I lean back, idly petting Alicia's hair while I wait, fully expecting this to take a while. It does not take a while. 5 seconds. 5 seconds. My panel explodes with sale notifications, one after another, faster than I can even read them. 53 units sold, 13 units sold, 100 units sold for a gold coin. On and on, completely unreadable at the speed they're flying by. By the time I check my shelf, all 100,000 units are gone. Total time, under 7 seconds. After a 10% market fee, I walk away with 134 gold coins and 76,600 silver coins. I check my balance. Went from 44 gold to 178 gold, 76,699 silver, 0 copper. Doing the currency math against real-world money, that's something like 90 million yuan, give or take. I am not cashing any of this out to real-world currency though. In-game gold and silver actually make me stronger here. Real money is basically useless in comparison at this point. Meanwhile, the regional chat is having a complete meltdown. Who just saw that? 100,000 units of wood just appeared on the market? I tried to grab some and only managed to snag 3 units before it sold out. I'm literally crying. This mystery seller must be insane. My best dungeon run only got me 18 units. This guy dropped 100,000 in one listing. If he's pulling off numbers like that, his troops must be steamrolling everything. He's probably already cleared his upgrade dungeon. Mystery seller, please list more. I'll pay 1.5 silver per unit. I'm begging. I'll go 2 silver. Just please sell more wood. I don't care about the price. If he lists again, can I get first dibs? I'm only 20 units short of upgrading, and I'm about to get eliminated. I scroll through all this chaos completely calm. The market's huge, so dumping even hundreds of thousands of units would still vanish instantly, but I decide to hold off on flooding it again. 200 million people entered this trial. Who knows if some of them have weird talents or tools that could track me down. Right now, my only real backing is Alicia and the squad. Strong, sure, but if some shadowy faction decides I'm worth ganging up on, that's a problem I don't need yet. Staying alive matters more than flexing. Better to quietly build up strength in the background until I'm untouchable, then start showing off. I close the chat and check my mansion's upgrade panel instead. The dungeon cooldown should be almost done by now. Time to upgrade the mansion again. Cost to go from Tier 1, Level 1 to Level 2. 200 wood, 200 copper. Absolute pocket change for me at this point. Upgrade. White light wraps the castle. It shakes slightly, and when the light clears, the castle's gotten even bigger and more imposing. Ding. Mansion upgraded to Tier 1, Level 2. Ding. Congratulations, you're the first lord in the region to reach Tier 1, Level 2. Ding. Region first upgrade bonus. 1x better bed, a bed. Of course. The universe really wants me to think about sleeping arrangements today, doesn't it? So I get my reward. Better bed, skin, same rarity tier as my mansion skin. Stats. Comfort 20 mana, recovery 100% while resting, special effects. Faster fatigue recovery. Can let loose freely when bonding with units to boost intimacy. Extra 100% energy recovery. And it never gets dirty. I read that special effects list twice. There's something deeply suspicious about this furniture. I don't know who's designing items in this world, but I have questions. Anyway, recovery boost is good. I'll take it. No further comment. I summon the blueprint and send it flying up to my bedroom. The plain wooden bed turns into an absurdly luxurious, glowing bed fit for, presumably, royalty. Or other things. Moving on. Alicia, gather the squad. We're hitting the upgrade dungeon again. Alicia, who I somehow had not noticed was apparently hiding under my desk this whole time, pops out instantly. Master, the angels are already assembled. Cool. Normal. Not unsettling at all. The cooldown's done. The squad lines up in the hall. Everyone's pumped, and we dive back into the dungeon. Same open plains, except this time the enemy base is Tier 1. Level 2, beefed up with a low wall now, and guarding it. 15 Crimson Armor Warriors at Black Iron 6-star, plus a Crimson Armor Chief at Black Iron 5-star, rare talent. I check his stats. Defense basically doubled compared to last time's Salamander Chief. For a normal lord, this guy is a legitimate nightmare. For us, Raging Wave, cleave heaven and earth. All 15 warriors get vaporized before they can even register what's happening. The chief just stands there, jaw on the floor, watching his death arrive in slow motion, completely baffled about what cosmic mistake led him to fighting this today. The challenge starts and ends in the same breath. S rank. I choose to push into the bonus round again. Obviously, why would I stop a free reward machine? What follows is the same beautiful chaos as before. Base spawns, Raging Wave, base gone, repeat, scaling up tier by tier. Tier 2, Tier 9. I genuinely don't even get time to read enemy stats before they're dust. Then a Tier 3, Level 1 base shows up. And that's where things get spicy. Tier 3 units are silver rank, which puts an 80% power suppression on my angels due to the realm gap. Alicia's basically fighting at 20% capacity here. The enemy boss, a Shadow Chief, has stats that are nearly a third of Alicia's normal numbers, and with that 80% suppression stacked on, this guy could genuinely go toe-to-toe with her. I feel my stomach drop for the first time all day. Oh no. Is this the moment my unstoppable angel squad finally hits a wall? Alicia swings. Raging Wave. Cleave heaven and earth. And the base doesn't disappear. The Shadow Chief actually blocks it. Alicia blinks, visibly surprised. First opponent all run to survive her signature move. The Chief's definitely hurting from tanking a god-tier skill barehanded, but he's still standing, which honestly might be the most impressive thing I've seen all day from anyone who isn't on my team. Guess we go again then, Alicia says, completely unbothered, raising her sword for a full power swing this time. Raging Wave, cleave heaven and earth. The strike lands with a boom that shakes the whole dungeon. This time there's no blocking it. The base, the chief, all of it, gone in an instant. Not even time for a final scream. Total, 60 bases destroyed. Grade, SSS. Reward, another SSS upgrade chest. I finally let out the breath I'd been holding. For one glorious second there, I genuinely thought my perfect win streak was about to hit a real obstacle. Phew. Crisis averted. Back to being unreasonably overpowered. Back home, chess time again. Last one gave me the glory outpost, so my expectations are high. I plop down on the ground like a guy with zero dignity left, and Alicia immediately scoops me up and lays me across her lap like this is just a completely normal thing we do now. Alicia, you're playing with fire here. She just smiles, all mischievous. Does Master not like it when I do this? I do. I like it a lot. I will never admit this out loud. I have some pride left. The other 10 angels are huddled by the outpost entrance, whispering, sneaking glances our way, clearly jealous and dying to get in on the cuddle pile. I shake my head. Focus, Subai. Don't let pretty faces distract you from business. I open the chest. Ding. 100 gold coins. Plus, Divine Tier Blueprint, Legendary Bonfire. Bonfire? Really? Bonfires are normally just basic starter furniture for warmth and roasting food. How is this a Divine Tier item? I check the panel and just stop reading for a second. Legendary Bonfire. Divine Tier Comfort, 20 Loyalty, 20 while near the fire. All stats 100%. Spirit Recovery 100%. Leave the fire, and the buff decays over 24 hours. Return to the fire. Buff instantly resets to 100% special. Resting by the fire daily grants a permanent 10 base spirit stat. In OCP, a campfire does this. I genuinely sit there in silence for a second. This is supposed to be the throwaway starter building. The one that exists just so you don't freeze to death on day one. And it's apparently been hiding god tier stats this whole time. Here's why this is actually insane. Spirit is the hardest base stat to raise for any unit. And it's also the stat tied to mana pool, casting speed, and recovery speed. So boosting it doesn't just help one thing, it boosts everything downstream. Take Alicia. Her current base spirit is 194. Add today's 10, she's at 204. Run that through her hero bonus, 1000%, the outpost bonus, 107%, and now this fire's bonus, 100%. Her total spirit comes out to 2,462. Tomorrow, another 10 base, and it jumps to 2,582 just from one extra day. That's a triple-digit stat gain in one day. Most units need to climb a whole tier just to gain that much. This isn't a buff. This is a snowball rolling downhill made of pure stat inflation. This is just unfair at this point. On top of the stat insanity, it's also 20 comfort and 20 loyalty. Combined with the outposts 27 and the mansion/bed bonuses, my territory's total comfort is now sitting at 77. Total loyalty bonus at 147. Just 23 more comfort points, and I'll finally see what happens at the 100 comfort milestone. Okay, enough math. Let's just place it and see. I drop the blueprint down in front of the outpost, so the squad can buff up easily. It doesn't explode in gold light like the other buildings. Instead, a warm orange glow settles gently into a small, person-height bonfire. No smoke. Somehow, just this soft sandalwoodish scent drifting off it, and embers floating up into the night sky in this weirdly hypnotic rhythm. Just looking at it makes my whole body relax. Alicia, somewhere behind me, lets out the softest little sigh. This feels amazing. I turn around and her eyes are half closed, completely blissed out, like her soul itself is getting a massage. The other 10 angels notice the glow too and come pouring out of the outpost, gathering around the fire with these dazed, delighted expressions. Master, this fire. It's so warm, one of them murmurs, voice gone all soft. I feel like my very soul is being comforted, my mood just completely lifted. They're all flushed now, whether from the fire's heat or something else, I genuinely cannot tell. And every single one of them is looking at me with an expression that can only be described as very interested, shifting their weight from leg to leg like they're trying very hard to hold themselves back. I am, once again, in incredible danger. Alicia drags me down to sit by the fire, wraps herself around me, chin on my shoulder, and says, all sweet and soft, Master, the others are getting really impatient. What should we do, buddy? That voice. That is not a holy angel voice. That is a temptress voice. Somebody mislabeled this entire species. I open my mouth to say no, but Alicia keeps going. Master doesn't want the angels going without relaxation after all that fighting, right? Don't worry, I'll make sure they behave. The second she says that, all 10 angels' eyes light up like Christmas trees. Lady Alicia is fighting for us. Lady Alicia's loyalty is unmatched. I open my mouth to object, look around at 10 extremely determined faces all staring at me like I'm the last slice of cake at a party, and quickly recalculate my life choices. If I say no right now, my golden kidneys card might not be enough to save me. Fine. Just make it quick. I cave. Completely. Instantly. I am a lord. A dignified lord. And today I have been disrespected. Just wait. If I didn't have a whole territory to manage during the day, I'd show you little troublemakers a thing or two tonight. Thank you, Master. Alicia practically melts with happiness and kisses my cheek again. I just stare blankly ahead. This is a reward you've all earned. Fairly. Through hard work. Thank you, Master. They all cheer in unison. It's a wholesome, warm, happy little moment, apparently. I'm having a great time too. Probably. Allegedly. After all the chaos calms down, I end up resting my head on Alicia's lap by the fire, scrolling through the regional chat for some peace and quiet while she gently strokes my hair like I'm a very tired cat. The other angels each get their turn cuddling before letting me go. Priorities, territory development comes first, apparently, even for clingy angels. Chat's still going wild. Finally got 100 wood. Upgraded my base. Heading into the challenge dungeon now. Wish me luck. Still grinding for wood. That mystery seller better show up again. I'm losing my patience. Anyone done the upgrade dungeon? Enemy units were 2 stars higher than mine. Barely scraped a win. Only got C rank and 10 silver. I got B rank, 20 silver. PSA, my distant relative's friend something is apparently a divine tier lord. And he says if you upgrade your base repeatedly in a short window, the challenge dungeon scales up way harder, way past what your actual power level should face. Only fix is waiting for difficulty to cool back down. Whoever's repeatedly upgrading can confirm if that's true. Sharing this so people don't waste resources. Thanks for the heads up. I almost upgraded again. That could have gone really badly. Listed 10,000 wood. Highest bidder takes it. Reading this, I do the math on my own situation. Yeah, that second dungeon was noticeably harder than the first. Makes sense if rapid upgrades scale difficulty. Now I'm wondering if I can even clear a third run. Alicia, somehow always reading my face like a book, says gently, Master, don't worry. We haven't even gone all out yet. With all these divine buildings you've gotten us, we'll be fine. Fair point. My angels have been one-shotting everything on what's basically easy mode this whole time. Maybe it's time to see what they're actually capable of. Can't keep farming weaklings forever. That's not how you train a real army. Mansion upgrade cost to Tier 1, Level 3, 500 wood, 500 copper. A rounding error at this point. Gear up, we're going back in. I tell the squad. This one might actually be tough. Yes, Master. Lazy cuddle mode instantly snaps off, gold light wraps around them. And they're back in full armor, serious and divine again like. Flipping a switch. We dive in. Same open plains, except the enemy base this time is Tier 1 Level 3. Way bigger, wooden walls, units packed wall to wall. I check the chief. Orc Berserker Chief. Black Iron 9 star. Elite talent. Every other unit in this base is also Black Iron 9 star. That's a full tier jump from the last 2 runs. Way past what should be normal for this stage. So that rumor was right. Difficulties scaling hard. Before I can think too hard about it, Alicia's already moving. Raging wave. Cleave heaven and earth. Boom. Base gone. Everyone vaporized. S rank, naturally. Continue. I say, no hesitation, because basic challenges have been a complete joke so far. New base spawns. And this time it's Tier 2, Level 1. Units jump straight to Bronze 1 star. Abyss Blood Slave. Elite talent, Bronze 1 star. 1,573 HP, 160 attack. Stats basically doubled again from the last fight. Raging wave. Cleave heaven and earth. Let's see what this one's made of. Boom. One shot again. Ding. Tier 2, Level 1 base destroyed. Second base. Third, fourth, same story every time. Alicia's still just using her one signature move. Not even breaking a sweat. Not even bothering to look impressed with herself anymore. Then base number 30 happens. This time, one swing doesn't cut it. The target's silver 1-star now, and the other angels actually have to jump in and help, throwing out skills way above God tier just to bring these bases down. Takes 3 hits instead of 1, but hey, still wins. Then the final base loads in. Tier 3, level 10, 1 step away from Tier 4. And this base doesn't have 1 hero. It has 5, all silver 10-star, all epic talent. Each one's stats are basically in the same league as Alicia's, and their combined army is in the tens of thousands. This is the first moment all day where I genuinely think, oh no, we might actually lose this one. My angels have been chain casting skills above God tier for 29 fights straight at this point. Their mana's basically empty. I mentally start drafting my surrender speech. SSS reward isn't worth risking a single one of my girls getting hurt. Full stop. I'd rather walk away with nothing. Alicia just gives me this calm, reassuring look. Master, trust me. As long as they haven't reached gold tier, there's nothing to fear. She doesn't hesitate for even a second. Regular God tier skill won't cut it here, so she pulls out something bigger. Eternal Immortal, a heavenly divine tier skill. One of her absolute strongest moves. She barely even swings the sword, just a light pass through the air, and suddenly the entire battlefield freezes. 5 heroes, each 2 full realms above her, individually capable of crushing entire armies, suddenly find themselves completely unable to move. Can't even think straight. And then, like dust caught in a wind that erodes through time itself, the whole base just withers away, crumbles, gone. I genuinely cannot process what I just watched. Time. She controls time. How is that even fair? How is any of this fair? Final result. 60 bases destroyed. SSS grade. Another SSS upgrade chest. Master, mission accomplished, Alicia says, instantly dropping back into her usual playful self the second the fight's over. It takes me an embarrassingly long moment to even respond. Note to self, my own power level needs to start catching up. If it weren't for that permanent 100% loyalty card I slapped on early, units this terrifying could have overthrown me 10 times over by now, and there'd be nothing I could do about it. For reference, my own stats scale with my territory level, gaining 10% per level just like units do. Base growth aside, anything beyond that depends on my personal talent, and mine's a support-type talent. Great for buffing everyone else, not so great for buffing me. Back home, I don't open the chest right away. Instead, I sit by the fire and actually think for once. That dungeon escalated way faster than I expected. We won, but my squad's basically tapped out. Alicia had to break out one of her actual ultimate skills just to clear it. And the worrying part, the next hidden tier dungeon is guaranteed to throw gold tier enemies at us. Here's the brutal math of this world. Being 1 realm above an opponent suppresses their stats by 50%. 2 realms, 80%. 3 realms, 99%. Basically unwinnable. My angels sit around black iron 3 to 4 star right now. Gold tier is a full 3 realms above that. 99% suppression. Win condition does not exist. Okay, can't be greedy here, I mutter to myself. We stop at level 3 today. Keeping every run at SSS matters way more than chasing first upgrade bonuses. Alicia, listening in, asks softly, Master, are you worried it's too dangerous? We can still fight. Nah, that's enough for today. You'll get hurt pushing further. You're all incredibly strong, but realm suppression isn't something raw power can just punch through. We wait for difficulty to reset tomorrow. Okay. Master, she says, no argument, just leaning her head on my shoulder. Did Master just worry about us? Oh no, I really like him. I completely failed to notice this internal crisis happening 2 inches from my face. Multitasking isn't my strong suit. I open my bag and check the new chest. Open, 100 gold coins, at this point basically a participation trophy, divine blueprint. Feast Hall of the Gods, I check the panel. Feast Hall of the Gods, divine tier comfort 20, loyalty 20 eating. Here gives a temporary 100% all stats buff for 6 hours daily meals, grant 100% EXP gain for 24 hours, auto-generates the optimal food for any unit type. Maximizing growth speed and buffs a literal cafeteria. That's secretly a divine power-up machine. Of course, why would anything in my life be a normal building anymore? I stare at the panel for 3 full seconds before I manage words. This is a cafeteria, I've already been blindsided by divine tier housing and a divine tier campfire today, but a divine tier dining hall is somehow the one that breaks me. And it produces food infinitely, which means I never have to worry about feeding my growing army ever again. Here's the thing people don't think about. Units actually need specific food, and getting it wrong is genuinely dangerous. Feed them the right thing, big bonuses. Feed them the wrong thing, massive loyalty crash. There's actually a cautionary tale I remember. Some epic tier lord was rising fast, came back from a campaign, accidentally fed his dark elves pickled food, which apparently they hate on a biological level, lost 50 loyalty overnight, another 10 the next day, and by the time he noticed, his whole army, including his strongest hero, had abandoned him. His rivals smelled blood, attacked while he was weak, and that was the end of him. Permanently. Logistics in this world isn't a side detail, it's life or death. So yeah, I was fully prepared to spend my afternoon hunting for decent food for my super divine talent angels, because regular peasant food was absolutely not going to cut it for their growth rate. And now? Solved. Completely solved. Housing and food, two of my biggest headaches, both gone in one day. Alicia, sensing my mood, drifts over all curious. Master, did you get something good? We're eating well at lunch today, something tasty? Her eyes light up. She's been quietly enduring basic food this whole time without complaint, never once asking for better, because she knows the territory's still young. But after a whole morning of fighting, she's definitely hungry. Yeah, feast hall of the gods. From now on, you all eat exactly what's best for you, every day, not the food that's best for us, she repeats slowly, then goes bright red, voice dropping all soft. Master, will you be feeding us by hand then? She has, once again, completely misread the situation. I give her a flick on the forehead. It's regular food, Alicia. You're an angel. A holy one. Get your mind out of the gutter. I lead everyone over to the empty space between the outpost and the bonfire and toss the blueprint forward. Unlike the cozy bonfire, this one detonates into a massive 3-second burst of light that lights up the whole territory. When it clears, a gorgeous ivory marble building, even fancier than my castle, carved with reliefs of elves, dwarves, dragons, angels, and demons all sitting at one giant table together, sharing drinks like old friends. Golden double doors, gemstones glittering in the firelight, feast hall of the gods, etched above in some divine script I somehow understand despite never learning it. Inside is even bigger than it looks. Easily 2,000 square feet, towering ceiling, crystal chandeliers, one massive marble dining table polished mirror smooth, dozens of high-back chairs each carved with different racial emblems, and a long serving counter at the far end. Empty for now. We all file in. The angels barely react, mostly just eyeing the serving counter expectantly. Then a soft white light flickers over the counter, and suddenly a dozen beautifully plated meals just appear out of thin air. Glowing fruit, perfectly sliced white meat, steaming soup, glittering drinks. I check the food panel and my eye starts twitching. Light fruit, divine tier. Permanently 5% to light element skill power, plus a temporary 50% all stats for 12 hours angels tiers, divine tier. Instantly restores 100% angelic power, 500%. Spirit for 6 hours blessed soul meat, divine tier. 200% EXP gain for 12 hours, and slowly raises the unit's talent tier over time. I am looking at food that could cause riots in the Lord community if word got out. Permanent skill boosts. Instant power refills. Talent upgrades from a meal. Back home, a single plate of this stuff would probably sell for an actual fortune. I look over at the angels, and their eyes have gone borderline feral with excitement. Alicia doesn't even wait. She just wraps her arms around my neck and pulls my face directly into a part of her anatomy that is decidedly not appropriate for a holy angel. Going, Master, you're too good to us. I cannot breathe. I am not exaggerating. I am a grown man over 6 feet tall, and I am being suffocated by a 6-foot-something angel's H-cup chest. This is a legitimate medical emergency. Oh, Master. Alicia notices her precious lord has gone completely limp and motionless and quickly pulls back, only to discover I have, in fact, fully blacked out from oxygen deprivation. Alicia, are you trying to assassinate your own lord? Master, it's just that Alicia got a little too excited. She says this with absolutely zero remorse, plants one more kiss on my cheek, then skips off cheerfully toward the food counter like nothing happened. The rest of the squad cheers and follows her, all of them practically vibrating with excitement. I stand there for a second, shaking my head. A little food, and they're all completely won over. Bunch of foodies, every single one of them. I watch them grab their plates and dig in, and I want to see exactly how strong this stuff actually is. One angel bites into a glowing fruit and immediately bursts into golden light, her whole presence visibly leveling up in real time. Eyes half closed, completely blissed out. This feels amazing. Same reaction down the line. Every single angel glowing faintly gold. Power rising in front of my eyes just from eating. I'm stunned. This is just lunch. They're getting stronger from lunch. At this point, why even fight monsters? Just eat your way to godhood, I guess. Master, I brought your food too, Alicia says, walking over with 2 plates for me. Curious what the system has in store for a human lord, I sit down right in the middle of the angel squad and check my own plate. Wisdom fruit, divine. Permanently 5 base to all stats, 1% all stat, temporary 100% all stats, and 500% spirit 4. 6 hours chaos grilled meat, divine. Permanently 5 attack, temporary 500% attack for 6 hours vitality broth, divine. Permanently 50 HP, 1% HP, temporary 500% HP for 6 hours. My eyes lock onto the word permanently. Finally, flat permanent base stat boosts, not just percentages. Percentages are great, but at this early stage, raw base numbers matter just as much, and the only ways to raise those right now are leveling up or eating absurdly expensive food. I take a breath and just eat the whole thing. This is, without exaggeration, the best meal of my entire life. Better than any 5-star chef back home could ever dream of making. I've genuinely never tasted anything like it. And then warmth floods through my whole body, power surging through every limb. I immediately pull up my own status panel to check what just happened. Sue by Lord Talent. Chaos Bestowal. Unique. Lord Level. Black Iron 3 Star Territory. Tier 1. Level 3 HP. 65. 325 Temp. Attack. 12. 60 Temp. Defense. 11. 11 Temp. Stamina. 12. 12 Temp. Spirit. 11. 66 Temp. Comfort. 87 Loyalty. 167 Resources. For 1,247 wood, plus stacks of resource cards currency. 378 gold. 76,699 silver evaluation. Combat power. Garbage. Extremely average stats for a lord. No idea how you stumbled into this many divine buildings, you absolute lucky bastard. Rude, but also fair, and also the first time I've actually checked my own stats this whole time. Here's the kicker. My numbers look terrible at first glance, but that's not actually on me. Every lord starts around 50 HP and under 5 on everything else, unless they have a self-buffing talent. Mine's a support talent, great for everyone else, mediocre for me personally. At Black Iron 3-star, my expected stats should be roughly 66 HP and 6.5 across the board. My actual numbers are already more than double the expected baseline. From one meal. This cafeteria is genuinely unfair. I finished the meal still slightly stunned by my own life choices. New rule, effective immediately. 3 meals a day, no exceptions, ever. This is non-negotiable. Quick scene jump. This part's actually from someone else's POV in the chapter, a guy named Yifan. I'll keep it brief since it's not me, then come back to my side. Yifan's a reincarnator. In his past life, he ground for 200 years just to reach divine tier, finally stepped into the real in-game battlefield, and got one shot by a guy surrounded by gorgeous angel women before he even saw the attack coming. The last thing he heard before dying was someone screaming my name. Apparently in that timeline, I become some legendary self-made divine tier lord, famous for going from nobody to godlike off the back of an angel squad I supposedly found in a ruins dungeon after the beginner period. Yifan, furious about getting curb-stomped, wakes up reincarnated back to day 1. Except this time he's got a mythic tier talent, 100-fold crit, which gives random multiplied quality boosts, 1x to 100x, on any resource he gets. Supposedly the rarest talent tier that exists. He's instantly cocky about it, swearing revenge, claiming he'll steal my angels, my women, my everything, and make me pay for the indignity of getting one shot in a future timeline I'm not even aware of yet. He also remembers something else from his past life, a mysterious anonymous trader who flooded the market with cheap resources starting on day one: wood, stone, food, iron, who later became a legendary figure nicknamed the Boss, sitting on infinite resources, completely unreachable by friend request, identity never confirmed by anyone. He checks the market. Same listing as his memory: 100,000 wood, 1 silver each, sold out. Yep, that's me, though he doesn't know it yet. He decides to try recruiting the Boss as an ally, fires off a friend request with this charming message: I have a mythic tier talent. I'm giving you the chance to invest in me. Don't be ungrateful. Bold opener. We'll see how that goes. Back to me. I'm lying in Alicia's lap by the fire, having the most relaxing afternoon of my entire life, when my nose suddenly itches. Achoo, Someone talking trash about me somewhere. I rub my nose, getting this weird, prickly feeling, like I'm being watched by someone I've never met. Probably nothing. Master, is my massage uncomfortable? Alicia asks, still kneeling beside me, hands working away at my shoulders, completely unaware that somewhere out there, a guy with a god-tier talent just declared war on me in a friend request I haven't even opened yet. Nah, just feels like someone out there is talking trash about me. Weird, prickly feeling. I know for a fact I can't actually catch a cold with my current stats, so logically there's only one explanation. Somebody, somewhere, is definitely cursing my name right now. Old wisdom says sneezing means people are gossiping about you. I'm an orphan who used to be invisible at school. Nobody used to think about me enough to gossip. So this is new and slightly concerning. Better check the system. I open my panel, and there's a little notification icon buried in the corner: 999 friend requests. Ever since I dumped that 100,000 wood on the market, this thing hasn't stopped buzzing. I scroll through a few. I'm the second son of the Lee family. Let's talk partnership. Big bro, got room for one more hanger-on? I'll call you dad if you let me ride your coattails. Big bro, we're both human. We should help each other out. Maybe sell to me at a discount. Hey handsome big bro, my sister's 36D and knows every skill there is. Looking for a sponsor. Photo attached. I just stare at this stuff. Every single one of these is somebody trying to mooch off me for free. And the photos are all so obviously edited it's almost insulting. Also 36D? Cute. Does she have wings? Does she glow gold? Does she have Alicia's face? No. Then she's not even in the conversation. Then one catches my eye. Someone calling himself Ye Heavenly Emperor. At the audacity of this username. I open it. I have a mythic tier talent. I'm giving you the chance to invest in me. Don't be ungrateful. Mythic talent, huh? And you're giving me a chance? Buddy. Clown behavior. Absolute clown behavior. Reject. Reject everything. Every single request. Gone. No hesitation. Good thing the trading market protects buyer/seller identity by default. Nobody can trace a sale back to me unless I actually accept a friend request. So as long as I keep rejecting, I stay completely anonymous. I double-check my friends list, still at 0, and breathe a sigh of relief. New permanent policy. Reject every market-related friend request, forever. Safety first. Master, Alicia chimes in. Can we have a bonfire party tonight? I open my eyes, a little surprised. A bonfire party? Yeah, she says, eyes sparkling. We're free this afternoon, and everyone's worked hard today. I think everyone should perform something for you, to help you unwind. I figure, why not? Nothing else planned, no. Reason to risk going outside the safe zone today anyway. Sure, go ahead and set it up. Why? She plants a kiss on my cheek and immediately calls out to the others. Master said yes. Bonfire party tonight. Everyone performs. The squad erupts into cheers, already scheming amongst themselves. Tonight I'm definitely winning Master's heart. I'm dancing. Once Master sees my figure, he won't be able to resist. I'm singing. Master's going to love my voice. They scatter, all buzzing with excitement, planning their performances. As night falls, the bonfire's roaring, food and drinks pulled straight from the cafeteria, wildflowers scattered around for ambience. All 10 angels sit in a circle wearing flower crowns, clearly buzzing with anticipation. I'm in the middle, lying in Alicia's lap, prime seating. All right, Alicia claps. Show's starting. Who's first? Me. One of the more, generously built angels jumps up immediately and steps into the open space by the fire. No music, but she conjures one using angelic power and starts dancing, wings swaying gently with each move, the firelight wrapping her in this golden haze. Her outfit is sheer, extremely sheer. The kind of fabric that technically covers everything while somehow revealing absolutely everything about the shape of everything. It's doing things to my brain I am not equipped to handle. She dances right up to me, cups my chin with both hands, gives her lip a little lick, and asks, "Master, do you like it?" I, a man who was single for 18 straight years before reaching this world, nod like a malfunctioning robot. Yes. Good. I have genuinely never experienced anything close to this. Not even close. She beams, kisses me lightly on the mouth, and steps back. Then it's everyone's turn. Ethereal singing, sword dances with angelic light trailing the blades, a group performance so synchronized it should be illegal. By the end I am, suffice to say, structurally compromised. Eventually everyone settles in around the fire, eating, chatting, vibing. I'm still on Alicia's lap, half listening to the angels gossip while scrolling chat with one eye open. Then night fully sets in. Alicia leans into my ear, voice dripping with something dangerous. "My lord, it's time for bed." That voice. That specific voice. Something in me just snaps. "Alicia, you've been playing with fire all day. You know what happens when a fire gets out of control, and what exactly does Master plan to do about it?" She purrs back, completely unbothered. "Master was wrong to be so reckless," she continues, somehow getting more smug. Alicia accepts whatever punishment Master sees fit. "Any punishment at all, please. Don't go easy on Alicia." That's it. That's the line. My remaining brain cells check out entirely. I scoop her up without another word and carry her straight toward the mansion. There is no horse alive that could have pulled this particular cart. Morning light, and I wake up feeling like I got hit by a truck. My handsome face is now sporting full pando-eye dark circles. I've lost what feels like 10 pounds overnight, and I physically cannot move. Why can't I move? Because Alicia has me locked in a full-body grip from behind, arms around my waist, legs tangled with mine, completely immobilized. A prisoner in my own castle. MMH Master's struggling face is so cute, she murmurs sleepily. I stare blankly at the ceiling, briefly replaying last night's events, and my mouth just twitches involuntarily. "Master Morning, cut it out. I've got real work today." I want to be clear, I am not scared of her. I did not lose last night. I survived. I'm basically a war hero at this point. I just also happen to have actual responsibilities, because today is beginner day too, and I am not the type of lord who lounges around being pampered all day. Mostly. Okay, she says obediently, while making zero effort to actually let go, instead just nuzzling her face into the top of my head like I'm a very precious pet. Eventually, I peel myself free and stagger out of the bedroom, holding the doorframe for support, looking like a man who survived a war. The system pings immediately. Ding. New day, beginner day 2. Today's dungeon resource, stone. My exhausted eyes light right back up. New loot to chase. Draw. I pull up my talent cards. 3 appear, gold, purple, blue. No more guaranteed double gold from the starter bonus. Just one pick now. Gold, 100-fold. No wait, 10,000-fold crit. Any resource you gain has a chance to crit, multiplying it 1x. 10,000x. I just sit there blinking at this. 10,000 times. The card's own review just spam screams. 10,000x crit. 10,000x crit. Like it can't believe it either. Purple, energized, 200% energy recovery, 50% stamina. Review. Turns you into a nuclear-powered donkey. Rude. Genuinely rude. Are you targeting me specifically right now? Is this card aware of last night's events? Because it feels personal. Still would have been great if I didn't already have a better option. Blue. Lucky star. 10 luck for 24 hours, for whoever it's slapped onto. Review. Essential for protagonists, a gift for the unlucky. Decent, but 10 luck points isn't exactly life-changing. Obviously, I take the 100-fold crit card. Who's turning that down? Gold light absorbs into me. I feel warm for a second, and nothing happens. No fireworks, no obvious change. Let's test it. I open the market and buy 1 unit of wood for 1 silver. Ding. Purchased 1 wood for 1 silver. But that's it? No crit. Then the system clarifies. Note. Only resources gathered firsthand can crit, not items purchased through the market. Ah, there's the catch. Market purchases don't count. Only stuff I farm myself. Dungeon runs, kills, that kind of thing. Slightly annoying, but fair, and honestly still absurdly powerful once it kicks in for real. Alright, let's use today's free recruits first. I head over to the Angel Barracks. Haven't pulled today's free 10 yet. The doors swing open, same gold-white light as before. And then I just freeze. Because these aren't the same angels. Yesterday's battle angels were tall, athletic, built for close combat. Today's batch? Ding. Recruited. Holy Angel, Archmage Angels X10. Same height range, but noticeably cavia. And instead of angels' swords, they're holding staffs. Instead of light armor, they're wearing robes. Specifically, extremely sheer white silk robes. How sheer? Sheer enough that I can vaguely make out shapes underneath. Sheer enough that one gust of wind plasters the fabric to their bodies and outlines absolutely everything. That same cursed, mysterious outline, effect. It is back. And somehow worse. Form is emptiness. Emptiness is form, I mutter to myself, looking away. I am, against all odds, completely calm right now. Growth. I take a breath and check their stats. Archmage Angels, Super Divine Talent, Black Iron 1-star HP, 13,277 attack, 1,810 defense, 724 stamina, 965 spirit, 1,943 unprecedented Super Divine Spellcaster unit, insane attack and spirit, 1 ultimate clears. The whole field. I just go, well, good hell, now I'm completely set. 20 angels total. 10 melee tanks who can take a hit and dish one out, and 10 ranged casters who can wipe an entire battlefield with one spell. Melee covered. AoE covered. Crowd control covered. This roster is just unfair at this point. Physical brutality on one side, magical annihilation on the other. No time to waste. I march all 20 of them straight to the feast hall. The battle angels get their usual menu. Light fruit. Angels' tears, blessed soul. Meat. But the archmages get a different spread, tuned for spellcasters instead of fighters. Star fruit. Permanent 5% skill power, temp 50% all stats, 200% spirit for 12 hours mana spring, instant 100% angelic power refill, 500% mana recovery for 6 hours wisdom light, 200% EXP for 12 hours, slowly raises talent tier same general. Vibe. Just shifted toward casting power and mana sustain instead of raw combat. I get my own meal too, mostly the same as yesterday, different menu items though. Everyone eats, everyone buffs up, the whole squad's at peak performance. Move out, battle angels gear up in gold light, full armor on. The archmages' formerly very revealing robes transform into starlight woven mage robes studded with tiny gems, like someone draped the night sky over their shoulders. All 20 line up, waiting on my word. I check today's dungeon options. Day 2 unlocks stone and a brand new resource, energy crystals. Stone's the obvious one, basic building material, same deal as wood, and I'm going to need a lot of it as my territory keeps unlocking new buildings, walls, watchtowers, housing, you name it. Resource demand only scales up from here, so there's no such thing as too much stone. Energy crystals are the more interesting unlock though. These drop randomly off kills, ranked tier 1 through 12, and they're essential for upgrading units, barracks, and certain buildings. This is actually why my Angel Barracks has been stuck without an upgrade option. It needs a tier 1 light crystal specifically. Same deal with the legendary bonfire, except that one only needs a fire crystal, slightly easier. The outpost and feast hall don't need crystals since they're functional buildings, but they eat plenty of other resources instead. Stone dungeons can occasionally drop crystals too, just at a low rate. Outside of that, the only other way to get them is hunting wild monsters or waiting for the dungeon tier that unlocks on day 5. Now, about today's stone dungeon specifically, it's a world made entirely of rock, home to stone sprites. These guys have way more HP and defense than the wood sprites, and a higher tier overall. Most new lords just can't clear this dungeon at their current power level, So they either wait it out or just scavenge resources around their own territory instead. Not my problem, though. Every dungeon only opens once a day. Skipping today means losing that chance permanently for today, and it's not like I can just go pick up rocks lying around my forest territory. There are none. It's all trees. And going outside the safe zone is genuinely dangerous, even for new lords. There are wild creatures out there that hit way above their weight class. In fact, just today alone, over 1,000 new lords have already been eliminated. And it's not from losing inside dungeons. It's because they ran out of wood, tried to go gather it manually outside the safe zone, and something out there ate them. Outside resources are pocket change compared to what one good dungeon run nets me. So my policy stands. I am not leaving the safe zone during the beginner protection period. Into the dungeon. Gold light. And we land somewhere completely different. A whole world made of stone. Gray rock floors. Towering stone pillars. No sun. Just dim ambient light from nowhere in particular. Smells dry, dusty, very quarry. Nearby, a bunch of round little rock guys are busy doing rock guy jobs. Hauling stone, mining, building stuff. Stone sprites. I check one stats. Stone sprite. Excellent talent. Black iron 7-star 350 HP, 15 attack, 30 defense, 30 stamina. Tougher than the wood sprites for sure. Decent defense. But honestly, still nothing. A normal lord's units would grind on these things for half a day and barely scrape together 10 units of stone an hour. Begin the raid. The second I say it, the sprites all snap their heads toward us, eyes glowing red. Intruders! Destroy the intruders! Defend the homeland! They charge in like an army. Genuinely dramatic. Very brave. Then the archmages calmly lift their staffs. Eternal starlight. The sky just opens up. Beams of light rain down from nowhere, slam into the crowd of charging sprites, and the entire area just gets wiped in one spell. No screams, no survivors, just rubble and 100+ units of stone scattered on the ground. One spell. One. From one angel. Cleared a whole zone. Okay, that's actually kind of insane, I mutter, genuinely impressed. The battle angels aren't about to be outdone either. They swoop in with their usual raging wave combo, taking out 20 sprites per swing. More angels join in, sword light flashing, beams falling from the sky. And within moments the entire stone world is just gone. Flattened. I stand safely off to the side watching this unfold and feel a tiny, fleeting pang of guilt. These sprites were just minding their own business, building their little rock town, and then a literal angel army showed up and erased their entire civilization in under 10 minutes. But hey, that's the rules of this world. Take or be taken. Weakness is the only real sin here. If I don't do this to someone, somebody will eventually do it to me. The only way to protect what's mine is to keep getting stronger, and the only way to do that is to keep taking. System pulls me back to reality. Ding. Killed one stone sprite, one stone. Ding. Crit talent triggered. 560x multiplier. 560 stone. There it is. There it is. I check the logs, and it's basically nonstop. One stone. Crit 237x 237 one stone. Crit 1892x 1892 one stone. Crit 91x 91 one stone. Crit 8888x 8888 about once every 10 drops. It crits. Multipliers ranging anywhere from 1x to a full 10,000x. The stone counter is just screaming upward. 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, 50,000, 100,000. Less than 10 minutes in, and I'm already sitting on 100,000 units of stone. And it gets better. The crit doesn't just multiply quantity. It can also crit the quality of resource cards. One common stone card, crit 100x quality. One rare stone card, one common stone card, crit 37x. 37 common cards. One elite stone card, crit 289x. 289 elite cards. One rare stone card, crit 1000x quality. One mythic stone card, hold on. A mythic tier resource card? Those things are worth tens of millions of units of stone, and even that undersells it, because once you're past epic tier, resource cards aren't just worth more stone, they become the only way to upgrade certain late-game buildings. Eventually, raw materials alone won't cut it no matter how much you stockpile. You need the card itself. So a mythic card isn't worth 10 million stone. It's worth way more than that, because it's a key that raw stone literally cannot substitute for. I'm just sitting here, watching my bank account inflate in real time, grinning like an idiot. Yes, this is awesome. The good news train keeps rolling. Ding. Killed stone sprite. 1 tier 1 rock crystal. Ding. Crit triggered. 78x multiplier. 78 rock crystals. 78 crystals. At the drop rates I know, that's an absurd haul on its own. And I'm not even tempted to sell these. Crystals are way too valuable for buildings and unit breakthroughs. This stays in the vault, no debate. Crits don't fire again on crystals for a while, but I keep slowly accumulating a few more naturally. Most of the real damage output, though, is coming from my archmages. Their AoE spells are just clearing entire crowds per cast, which is doing more work here than my crit talent ever could. Quantity over luck, basically. Their levels are climbing fast too. High talent units are usually slow to level because they need way more EXP per level, but they hit way harder once they do. For reference, my battle angels killed tens of thousands of wood sprites yesterday and only reached black iron 3-star. AoE clearing is apparently just a much faster leveling method. An hour later, dungeon ends. Results: stone sprites killed, 57,843 stone collected, 502,347 units resource cards, 12,832 common, 5,267 elite, 988 rare, 127 epic, 20 legendary, 1 mythic crystals, 84 tier, 1 rock crystals grade. SSS, I'm doing the math in my head and basically choking on air. Even excluding everything above epic tier, because those aren't fairly priced in raw resource terms anymore. I'm sitting on something like 17 million units worth of stone. If stone sells anywhere near Wood's going rate, and it should, probably even higher. This is an absolutely obscene amount of wealth. I won't need to worry about money for a long time. Let's go. Back home, I'm practically vibrating with excitement at this point. We return, but I don't stop there. I immediately pull up the panel. Wood dungeon. One more time. Ding. 1 wood dungeon attempt remaining today. Enter. Back to the familiar forest, same wood sprites. Except this time I bring the archmages along too. I turn to Alicia. Can the archmages group up enemies into one spot? She thinks for a second. Yes, they have crowd control skills. My eyes light up. Then let's do this. Archmages herd everyone into a clump. Battle angels mow them down. Killing one by one is too slow. Grouping them up levels everyone faster. Yes, master. The archmages take to the sky in formation, raise their staffs, and 10 spells drop simultaneously, flooding the forest in golden light. The wood sprites, like they've been hypnotized, all start running toward one spot. Not toward salvation, but directly into a wall of incoming sword strikes. An hour later, 62,347 wood sprites killed 725,832 wood collected big haul of cards across all tiers 6 tier. 1 wood crystals SSS grade. I look at these numbers and barely react. Resources? Honestly, at this point, I don't even care anymore. It's just numbers on a screen now. I'm a little disappointed. Actually, the wood crystals didn't crit even once. We head home. Before opening the new chests, I check my full inventory tally. Wood, 736,500 units stone, 502,300 units gold, 478 silver, 76,699 crystals, 84 tier, 1 rock. 6 tier, 1 with stacks and stacks of resource cards across every tier. Up to 1 single mythic stone card. I stare at the numbers for 3 solid seconds. That the gold unique 10,000-fold crit talent is genuinely unfair. After the excitement fades, I remember to check on the angels. Every single one of them jumped to black iron 6-star. Alicia's even higher, black iron 7-star. Base stats up across the board. If I ran yesterday's upgrade dungeon difficulty again today, it'd probably be a complete joke now. I checked the 2 new chests, both SSS grade. Sadly, neither one crit on the way in. Honestly disappointing. I was hoping for at least a measly few hundred times multiplier on something. Greedy, I know, but still. Whatever, let's just see what's in these. I shrug, cracking my knuckles. and open the wood chest first. 100 gold, a participation trophy at this point, doesn't even register anymore. Divine Blueprint. Divine Lumber Mill Epic Blueprint. Empire Swordswomen Barracks. I checked the lumber mill stats. Divine Lumber Mill base output. 10,000 wood/day, 1,000% wood production chance to drop wood resource cards while operating 300% worker efficiency. No fatigue upgrade cost. 10,000 wood, 5,000 stone, 1 wood crystal. I just go, damn, out loud. A normal Lord's lumber mill is some sad little shack with a couple busted axes, producing maybe 10 to 20 wood a day if you're lucky. A looted enemy mill might get you 100 to 500. Mine produces 10,000 base, times an extra 1,000%, so easily over 100,000 units a day, with bonus resource cards thrown in for free. This is a literal printing press. But then I read the fine print. Requires villagers to operate, and my excitement crashes immediately. I don't have any villagers yet. Beginner period lords only get population starting. Day 3, either through migrants showing up naturally, driven by reputation/fame, or by building a recruitment center, which I can't even unlock until I hit Tier 1 level 9. Recruitment is also a total gotcha. Random talent, no pity system, and it's a server-wide shared pool, so good luck. So, this mill is just decoration for now. Ugh, one whole day of production wasted. That's at least 100,000 units I'm not getting. 90,000 silver. 900 gold. Gone. I sigh dramatically. A literal money printer sitting right in front of me, completely useless until I get workers. Tomorrow, then. Moving on to reward number 3. And yes, this chest somehow dropped 3 separate rewards. Empire Swordswomen Barracks. Epic tier 50,000 HP 50 free recruits/day during beginner period. The Empire's elite female warriors, known for elegant swordsmanship and a cold, ruthless combat style. A brand new unit type. Epic tier on its own would be enough to dominate the entire beginner phase for most lords. But, and this is the fun part, I have a certain card fused permanently into my mansion that says any barracks built on my territory auto upgrades to Super Divine tier, regardless of what it actually started as. Build it. The blueprint flies out, settles into an empty spot, and forms into something completely different from the Angel Barracks. Pale jade construction, elegant flying eave roofline, wind chimes tinkling softly. Ancient script over the door reads, Frost Maidens. Ooh, I like the sound of that. My brain immediately conjures up every ethereal, untouchable celestial maiden trope I've ever seen in any drama, ever. Cold, elegant, devastatingly powerful, probably also devastatingly gorgeous, knowing my luck so far. I check the panel. Frost Maiden Barracks. Super Divine tier, 1 billion HP 10 free recruits/day evaluation. No comment necessary. Just incredible. I grin so wide it hurts. Confirmed. The card really does auto-upgrade any barracks I build to Super Divine, no exceptions. My free tier card just turned an epic blueprint into another billion HP monster. No hesitation. Recruit. The barracks doors swing open, soft pale blue light pouring out, and figures start stepping through the glow. A mature, ethereal woman steps out first, wrapped in this gossamer thin silk dress, blue-green embroidery at the collar, white hair pinned up with ornate hairpins. Shorter than my angels, maybe 5 feet 9 inches, and she radiates this otherworldly, untouchable, celestial being, energy. Untouchable, huh? Yeah. I immediately don't believe that for a second. Because once the recruit animation finishes and I see the full lineup, I realize Cold Celestial Maiden is doing some serious false advertising here. These aren't ethereal sort of mortals. These are walking structural engineering marvels. The proportions on these women rival Alicia's, and Alicia is considerably taller than these girls, which means the ratios here are somehow even more extreme. The pale silk robe is stretched to its absolute physical limits, waist tiny enough to span with one hand, hips and everything below doing a lot of work to fill out the rest of the silhouette. Long legs visible through the gauzy fabric. Simple white flats. The whole outfit sways with every step in a way that's actively making it hard for me to think straight. This is borderline criminal. I have been struck down 1,000 times over. And it's not just the bodies. Every single face is genuinely stunning. Sharp, elegant features. That classic, cold and distant, aristocratic look. Except now that expression is paired with bodies built like this, and the contrast between untouchable Ice Queen face and everything else is doing something to my brain that I don't have the vocabulary for. This combo is somehow more dangerous than either trait alone. My nose is heating up again. We're doing this again, apparently. 10 frost maidens, lined up, all waiting for something, eyes darting back toward the barracks entrance. Then the light flares one more time. The big one's coming. A woman half a head taller than the rest steps out. Same white silk theme, but accented in purple instead of blue-green, and somehow showing even less skin while looking even more dangerous, purely through how perfectly the fabric clings. If the other 10 were already an emergency, this one is a 5-alarm fire. I immediately look away and recite, "Form is emptiness," in my head several times in a row. A tiny devil Subai and angel Subai appear on my shoulders. Devil, just look, who cares, she's literally your own unit. Angel, yeah, fair point, seconded, comma. So, no further internal debate required. I look. Her face is even more refined than the others, with this lazy, half-lidded look to her eyes, and her hair, unlike the white-haired maidens, is a deep purple matching her outfit accents, makeup to match. The contrast between sleepy, sultry woman and supposedly divine celestial being gives off this dangerously magnetic energy. "Master," she says, voice cold but with this lazy drawl underneath. "Frost Maiden, Cold Moon, at your service." She and the rest bow. I just short-circuit completely. "She calls me master too? You're a celestial maiden. You're supposed to be untouchable. You're ruining my entire mental image of what a celestial maiden is supposed to be. Cold Moon, I am begging you." Cold Moon, watching me visibly malfunction, licks her lips slowly. "Master, is something bothering you?" I take a deep breath and just chant internally. "Business, business, there's still business to do. Business, Cold Moon." "Welcome to the team," I manage after several long, humiliating seconds of recovery. I do not look at her body again. I immediately pull up her stats panel instead, for my own survival. Cold Moon, Immortal Divine Talent, Black Iron 1-star HP, 34,000 attack, 3,500 defense, 2,700 stamina, 3,200 spirit, 2,200 legion buff, 1,200% training /EXP /march speed, 1,000% all stats, incredible. Top of the top, another Immortal Divine hero. I genuinely don't know what tier sits above this. Nobody's ever taught me. But the vibe is clearly extremely good. I check one of the regular Frost Maidens too. Cold Blade Sword Immortal, Super Divine, Black Iron 1-star. HP, 13,200 attack, 2,400 defense, 1,080 stamina, 1,440 spirit, 1,010 pure offense. Nothing more needs to be said. 2 heroes, 2 squads, both absurdly overpowered, and my poor heart rate has not recovered once today. I'm reading the unit name again with a very specific expression on my face. Cold Blade Sword Immortal, a swordswoman. Aloof. Elegant. Cold. Buddy, your outfit and your body say something extremely different from cold and aloof. Is this entire species built on the concept of irony? Ice on the outside, absolute chaos underneath? Okay, fine. Research project for tonight, noted. All right, Cold Moon. You're in charge of the Frost Maiden Legion from here on out. Yes, master. She bows with that same lazy smirk and goes off to chat with Alicia, while the rest of her squad mingles with the angels. With everyone distracted and no longer actively trying to give me a heart attack, I finally get a moment to breathe. Time for the second SSS chest, this one from the Stone Dungeon. Open, 100 gold, standard tax at this point. Divine Wonder. Giant Stone Statue, 100x unit recruitment cards, 3 rewards again. In recruitment cards, these let me bypass the daily recruit cap entirely. My current roster sits at a measly 30 units, which, embarrassingly, is on the low end for my territory tier. Other lords at this level are sitting on hundreds of units already. Mine's tiny by comparison, but hey, I'm not exactly worried about feeding them, given my resource situation. Quality over quantity. That's the whole strategy here. First, the Wonder, Giant Stone Statue. Divine Tier 200% mining efficiency, 200% stone, gain 200% damage versus defense-type races. With this, Mom never has to worry about your stone shortage again. Basically the stone-flavored twin of my lumberjack statue. Place it down. A stone miner statue with a pickaxe and a mining helmet rises up, same scale as the wood one, and the whole territory shudders slightly when it locks in. Nice. Now, the recruitment cards. 100 of them. How do I split this? Current roster: 10 Battle Angels, 10 Archmage Angels, 10 Frost Maidens. Even split. I decide on roughly 25 Angels, 25 Maidens, kind of split, sending it through. 25 cards Battle Angels, 20 cards Archmage Angels, 25 cards Frost Maidens, 30 cards Cold Spell Immortal. Wait. Hold on. What's that? A brand new unit type just popped up, same way the Archmages did. Another subtype hiding in the same barracks. Cold Spell Immortal. Huh? Let's see how you actually are. The recruitment animation plays out, and out walk. Yet another variant. If the Sword Maidens were elegance with an edge, this batch is. Look, I'm a normal man. I notice physical traits first. That's just how eyes work. Don't judge me. And this batch is, to put it simply, bigger. Bigger doesn't mean less fit. To be clear, just more. Generously proportioned. We're talking I-cup territory, wrapped in nearly transparent dark gauze robes with black and white inner lining, doing the bare minimum to preserve modesty. And somehow, despite the body language being maximum chaos, their faces are even colder and more aloof than the Sword Maidens. Sharp, distant, untouchable expressions, jet black hair instead of the silvery white from before, which actually makes the icy demeanor land even harder. They line up, bow in unison. Master, that voice. A husky, mature, cold older sister voice, combined with that frosty expression and that master line. I am not okay. I am once again not okay. Cold Spell Immortal, Super Divine, Black Iron 1-star HP, 14,000 attack, 1,900 defense, 800 stamina, 1,000 spirit, 2,200, another team wipe machine. Same role as the Archmages, wide AoE, mass clearing. Final roster tally: 35 Battle Angels, 30 Archmage Angels, 35 Frost Sword Maidens, 30 Frost Spell Maidens, 130 Super Divine units total, plus 2 Immortal Divine heroes leading them. This roster could probably go toe-to-toe with last cycle's tail-end veteran lords, never mind anyone in the current beginner region. But, and I keep telling myself this, I am not touching that fight yet. Staying quiet, staying hidden, growing in the shadows is the play. I don't move until I'm 99% sure I'm untouchable. Until then, none of this matters. Patience first, flexing later. With the new units squared away, I check my mansion upgrade panel. Cost to Tier 1 Level 4, 2,000 wood, 2,000 copper. Done. Ding. Mansion upgraded. Tier 1, Level 4. Ding. Congratulations, first lord in the region to reach this level. Ding. Reward, better furniture set. I raise an eyebrow. Another, better, item series. Let's see it. Better furniture set, comfort 3,200% energy recovery while resting on the furniture, self-cleaning. Never gets dirty, 100% loyalty growth speed when interacting with units/heroes on it. I read that last line and my face goes flat. Interacting? What kind of interacting? Don't you dare imply anything. I am not that kind of guy. I 100% am that kind of guy at this point, but the principle stands. Comfort goes from 87 to 117 with this boost, and, ding. Total comfort has reached 100. Hidden effect unlocked. All units/heroes 10% to all stats. Nice. Not huge, but free stat boosts are free stat boosts. I'll take it. Then the mandatory challenge dungeon kicks off automatically. Into the dungeon. Enemy base. Tier 1, Level 4, units now Black Iron 4-star. Noticeably easier than what we faced yesterday. Confirms my theory, difficulty resets after a day passes. For a normal lord, one level up a day would already be considered great progress. Go ahead, clean this up fast, I say. But this time, I bench Alicia and the Angels. The Frost Maidens need the EXP more, even if dungeon EXP gains are modest. Gotta spread the love. Cold Moon steps up. Vast heavenly abyss. The sky literally splits in half. Just the pressure of the move alone crushes the base into dust before it even finishes casting. Same loop as before, bases spawn, get erased, difficulty climbs, except this time it's Cold Moon and her sword maidens doing the cleanup work instead of Alicia. Heart-stealing blade, lands over and over, base after base falling without a fight. An hour later, 60 bases destroyed, SSS grade. And Alicia didn't even need to lift a finger. The Frost Maidens are clearly just as terrifying as the angels. Back home, I open the chest. 100 gold divine blueprint. The Great Wall. I blink. The Great Wall? Let's see it. The Great Wall, divine tier build cost. 10,000 with 10,000 stone. PER meter HP. 100,000/meter immunity to all attacks under 10,000 power blocks flying units from crossing, blocks tunneling units from going under self-repairs 1%. Max HP per second 200% all stats for units defending atop the wall fixed minimum damage taken. 1 per second normally, capped at 10 per second even against attackers who exceed its defense. I just sit there in stunned silence. 0.20,000 units of resources per meter. This thing eats gold like it's a hobby. But here's the kicker. That defense profile is absurd. 10,000 power needed just to scratch it. And even then, damage is capped at 10 per second, not per hit. There's a massive difference there. Alicia herself probably couldn't dent this thing. Even a mythic talent unit would need to be Platinum Realm just to start chipping away. And even then it'd take forever thanks to the damage cap. For anyone below Gold Realm, this wall is functionally invincible. During the beginner protection period specifically, this wall is just unkillable. Full stop. Worth it. I'd been considering dumping my excess resources onto the market for more profit, but now I'm rethinking that completely, because a wall that's actually useful needs to be at least a kilometer long to mean anything. And at 20,000 resources per meter, that's 20 million resources just for the first kilometer. Suddenly today's haul doesn't feel like nearly enough. Out of curiosity, I check what a normal wall looks like for comparison. Basic wooden wall, common tier, cost. 10 wood/meter 1000 HP/meter no special defenses, breaks to basically anything, better than nothing, barely. Then I look back at the Great Wall blueprint. 10,000 wood and 10,000 stone per meter. 100,000 HP per meter. Immunity to anything under 10,000 power. Anti-air, anti-tunnel, self-heal, defender buffs, damage cap. There's genuinely no decision to make here. I'm building the real one. I do the math. To fully ring my territory, I'd need roughly 1,500 meters of wall, which works out to about 15 million units each of wood and stone. That's an insane number. But this wall is also the single most important defensive investment I could possibly make. Anti-air and anti-tunnel alone means nobody can just teleport behind me or burrow under to assassinate me. No more worrying about surprise attacks. Even a partial wall around my core buildings beats nothing. Let's place it. The blueprint flares gold brown, settles on the territory edge, and a 1 meter wide chunk of wall rises out of the ground. Gray stone block, covered in glowing runic carvings, and left open for future extension. I stare at this 1 single meter of wall and feel a genuine pang of grief. 10,000 wood, 10,000 stone, for 1 meter. Waist high, looks pathetic on its own. No. Absolutely not. This is embarrassing. We're going bigger. I do the real math now. Circular territory layout for max area. A 1,000-meter ring nets roughly 79,000 square meters, which should be plenty room for my buildings. At 10,000 with 10,000 stone per meter, that's 10 million units of each resource for a full kilometer. I check my vault. Wood, 736,500 units stone. 502,300 units plus stacks and stacks of resource cards across every tier. Raw stockpile alone doesn't cover it. But I've got resource cards to burn. Common cards equals 100 units each. Rare equals 1,000. Elite equals 10,000. I crunch the math. 10,000 common cards, 5,000 rare cards, for 100 elite cards, split between wood and stone, gets me right up to 10 million units of each, with 1,000 common cards held back for the actual build cost. Build. The blueprint erupts in gold-brown light and just starts extending, following the path I marked. 1 meter. 10. 100. 1,000. A complete ring of wall rises around my entire territory, dark gray stone covered in glowing runes that shimmer like they're alive. It's only a meter tall and wide. Looks almost comically small, like you could just hop over it. But the wall is seamless, no joints anywhere, like it grew straight out of the earth itself. And looking up, there's a faint golden shimmer in the air above it, the anti-air barrier. And looking down, a similar glow under the ground, anti-tunnel. Top to bottom, zero blind spots. I grin. With this thing up, not only are the random new lords no threat, even established veteran lords from earlier cycles would need to think twice before trying anything. 10,000 power minimum just to scratch it, gold realm minimum to leave a mark, and even then, capped at 10 damage per second while it self-heals 1,000 HP per second. They could attack for a lifetime and lose the math every single time. Worth every coin. I head back to the mansion. Dungeon's on a 47-minute cooldown, so I sink into my new fancy sofa and pull up regional chat to kill time. Alicia and Cold Moon both wander in and settle on either side of me. I don't comment on it, just let it happen at this point. Pick your battles. Chat's still going strong, no signs of slowing down. Guys, I can't take it anymore. Can't beat the wood dungeon. Can't beat the stone dungeon. Tried going outside to chop wood manually. Walked 500 meters and got my entire squad one-shot by a wild black iron 9-star boar. Back to 0 units. That's nothing. I tried the stone dungeon yesterday out of desperation. 3 minutes in, full wipe. Those stone sprites have HP like an actual wall. Couldn't even scratch them. Yeah, people out there are getting absolutely demolished by the exact same dungeons I'm casually farming for millions of resources a day. Different game entirely, apparently. I scroll through more chat. People getting wrecked, complaining they can't even afford basic resources. One guy joking he wants to chop himself up for firewood at this point. Rough out there. I read all this with zero emotional reaction. Is it hard for them? Sure. If I didn't get my busted unique talent, I'd be in the exact same boat as everyone else. No reason to laugh at them. But I'm also not signing up to be anyone's charity. People will take help and then guilt trip you for not giving more. That's just how this works. Mind my own business, live my own life. I'm about to close chat when something catches my eye. Ye Heavenly Emperor, 1000 wood, 1.2 silver per 10 units, DM me. Ye Heavenly Emperor, 500 stone, 1.5 silver/unit, bulk discount available. Ye Heavenly Emperor, more tomorrow. Looking for long-term buyers. I raise an eyebrow. Ye Heavenly Emperor. That name rings a bell. Oh right, the guy who slid into my friend requests claiming he had a mythic talent and wanted to give me the chance to invest in him. That clown. How's he getting hundreds of units of resources a day? Normal lords don't pull numbers like that. Either he's got a strong unit like mine, or his talent's directly tied to resource generation somehow. Interesting. Chat's losing its mind over him. Holy crap. Ye fans selling. Got 50 wood. Thank you, big bro. Got some too. Price way under market rate. Market's at 1.5 silver now and rising. Ye fan big bro. Please, long term. Partnership, I need wood every day. Wait. Is this the mystery boss from yesterday? No way. The mystery seller never responds to anything. Totally silent. Clearly some private hermit type. This is someone different. Don't care who he is. Anyone selling resources is a hero in my book. Add me. Prioritize me for future drops. Ye Heavenly Emperor. Limited friend slots. Only adding people with actual strength. I just sit there with my mouth slightly open. Duh. Is this guy stupid? Or just really young? Broadcasting that you're sitting on a resource stockpile in a world like this is basically the equivalent of announcing you found oil in your backyard during a famine. Sure, the system protects new lords from direct attacks right now, but the second that protection lifts, every greedy faction in the region is going to come looking for him. Talent doesn't matter if you haven't grown into it yet. In this world, an unprotected prodigy is just a really valuable target. Best case for him. Getting enslaved as someone's personal resource farming machine, forever. Idiot. Absolute idiot. I close the chat and check my friend requests, still pinned at 999 of course. A few new highlights. I'm from the Zhao family. We control wood distribution in China. Want a partner? 50/50th split. Hello. I'm from the Li family. We handle stone exclusively. Let's talk before things get messy. Hey handsome. I'm actually a girl. Check the photo. We could meet up. Image attached. Bro, don't be picky about gender. I'm cute and from Chengdu. Let's link up. And then, unmistakably, I already gave you the opportunity to add me. Don't be ungrateful. That last one's from Ye Heavenly Emperor again. I almost laugh out loud. The confidence on this guy. People in regional chat are already side-eyeing him for the flex, and that's before protection lifts. The real predators haven't even shown up yet. All rejected. One click, clean sweep, zero exceptions. After clearing requests, something occurs to me, barracks. I've only got 2 super divine barracks, angels, frost maidens, both from chest drops. Can I just buy one off the market? I searched the trading market for barracks blueprints. 0 results. Makes sense actually. Barracks are basically a lord's entire lifeline. Nobody sells their lifeline. And it's only day 2. Hardly anyone's even gotten a barracks blueprint yet, let alone one they're willing to part with. The only people who'd sell would be someone with a duplicate or someone who pulled a barracks for a faction they don't actually want. I think about posting in regional chat asking if anyone's selling. Before I can type it out, the system interrupts. Please confirm your territory name. I think it over for a second. Needs to be low-key. Generic. The opposite of Ye Heavenly Emperor, because nothing screams, main character target, louder than a name like that. And I am not trying to get noticed by whatever cosmic forces are paying attention to flashy names. I settle on something appropriately forgettable and post in chat. Generic username. Buying any unit barracks blueprints. Price negotiable. DM me. The message instantly vanishes into the wall of chat noise. I figure nobody's going to bite. Units are way too valuable to part with. Even garbage tier ones are useful as cannon fodder. Just as I'm about to give up on the idea, a DM notification pops up. Lu Rian, I have some spare units. Question is whether you can actually afford them. My eyes light up the second I see that message. Finally, somebody actually willing to sell. I message back immediately. What unit? What price? Lu Rian, common green lizard barracks. 100 free recruits a day. 1 gold coin. My smile freezes solid. 1 gold coin. For a common tier barracks. Do I look like a guy who's just casually carrying a spare gold coin around? I am, very much so, but she doesn't know that, and I'm not telling her. I type back. 1 gold coin? Who exactly do you think can afford that right now? Most starting lords have literally 1 gold coin total and 0 stable income this early. That price isn't realistic for anyone. Lu Rian. It's only day 2. Almost nobody else even has a second barracks. This is exclusive. And if you're already out here trying to buy barracks blueprints this early, you clearly know what you're doing, which means a gold coin shouldn't actually be a problem for you. I almost laugh. Is she fishing to see how rich I actually am? You're overestimating me. I just want a common unit as cannon fodder for the upgrade dungeons. What else is a basic unit even good for? Can't even use it to recruit more, and I'd still have to pay its upkeep. That's worth maybe a silver coin, tops. She goes quiet for a second, then, you actually know your stuff. Guess class wasn't a total waste for you. I don't reply, just wait for her counter. Lu Rian, fine. Meet in the middle. 50 silver. I just stare at the screen. From 1 gold to 50 silver, exactly half. Classic opening high to anchor move. This woman's as sharp as her name implies. Lu Rian, willow like smoke. Very poetic for someone running a hustle. 5 silver. Final offer. I'm not poor, but I'm also not getting scammed for sport. I don't even need this unit that badly. Lu Rian, 5 silver? I could trade that for resources and get more value than that. Me. Then go sell resources instead. Lu Rian. Another long pause. I lean back on my fancy new couch, completely unbothered, waiting her out. Lu Rian, 40 silver, lowest I'll go. Or, if you're short on silver, I'd also accept other things. Like humanoid female units. I stare at this message. Are you serious right now? You think I'd just hand over a humanoid female unit to a stranger over chat? Why would I trade away something I could just recruit myself for free? 5 silver, Lu Rian. 35, 5 silver, Lu Rian. Take it or leave it then. Carrot. I close the DM window right there. Who sends emoji mid-negotiation? It's a common tier unit. Not exactly something I'm desperate for. 35 silver for that would genuinely be a ripoff, and I refuse to be the guy who got fleeced by a Discord energy negotiator. Meanwhile, on the other end of that conversation, Lu Rian is staring at her screen, grinding her teeth. This guy is so cheap, she keeps typing replies and deleting them. Can't decide what to say, eventually just Doesn't send anything. Here's her actual situation. Lu Rian is a real 18-year-old, technically born into one of the most powerful noble families in China's divine realm power structure. Except she's the illegitimate daughter of an illegitimate son, basically the lowest-ranked nobody the family barely acknowledges. But she rolled a genuinely insane talent entering this world. Mythic, Goddess's Grace. Can only recruit humanoid female units 1 talent tier to anything recruited 200% all stats to every humanoid female unit strong on paper. Except the restriction is brutal, humanoid, and female, and that's it. Her starting unit happened to be a mermaid, which counts, upgraded from rare to epic by her talent. But her second recruit? Also female, but not humanoid. Useless, can't even recruit it. 5 silver coins? The nerve, she's fuming, but can't stop herself from clicking my profile out of curiosity. My username, your goddess, my wallet. Her response, that what kind of username I asked that? This guy's definitely some gross otaku, who thinks about nothing else all day. Disgusting, but she's also out of options. It's day 2, her food stockpile is completely gone, her territory's stuck in the middle of a desert with 0 food sources nearby, and she has no resources left to sell and not enough silver to buy more food at the insane current market prices. Everyone in chat is desperately buying food, not selling it, and she can't compete. She'd been riding high on her mythic talent high, telling herself once the beginner period ends she can just go home and lean on her family's resources to fix everything. Except surviving until then is the actual problem. That is this really how Empress Rian falls? Am I really about to jest? Starve to death here. She's on the verge of actual tears. Her mermaid unit watches from a distance, sighing at her increasingly unhinged muttering. Mermaid, internally, that is my lord having some kind of breakdown? She's crying now. This isn't going well. No regrets over walking away from Lu Rian's deal. I'm not getting played, and honestly, I don't even need that unit yet. Better to wait and see what tomorrow's talent draw gives me anyway. Time to work. I stand up, check the clock. Dungeon cooldown's done. Alicia and Cold Moon get up with me, and within seconds my whole 130-unit army plus both heroes are lined up in front of the mansion. Mansion upgrade panel. Tier 1, level 4-5. Cost, 5,000 wood, 5,000 copper. Upgrade. Ding. Mansion upgraded. Tier 1, level 5. Ding. First lord in the region, again. Ding. Reward. Better hot spring. I just pocket it without opening. Challenge dungeon first. Into the dungeon. This time, the enemy base is Tier 2, level 5. Proper stone walls now, 3 meters tall. Units lined up on top. Gates shut. I check the chief. Black Crow leader, rare talent, bronze 6 star. Regular crows are bronze 5 star. 2 to 300 units total. Real difficulty jump compared to yesterday. Still, just a speed bump. Cold Moon. She steps forward, purple eyes flickering. Vast heavenly abyss. The sky tears apart again. Walls collapse. Units evaporate. Entire base gone in under 3 seconds. She turns back to me, lazy and smug. Satisfied master. Very, I say, grinning. Same loop as always. Bases spawn. Cold Moon one-shots them. Repeat. Alicia just watches from the sidelines this round, leaning against me. Master, Cold Moon's really strong. Huh. I flick her nose affectionately. You're not bad either. Master's always so nice to me. I love Master. Alicia practically melts into my side. So now we've got this weird tableau. Cold Moon single-handedly wiping out entire armies on the front line, while Alicia and I are back here being disgustingly cute at each other. Cold Moon glances back once, doesn't say anything, just smirks knowingly, and goes back to vaporizing bases. By the final base, even Cold Moon's breathing a little harder. That last one was genuinely tough. Took real effort to bring down. Noted. Next escalation, I need Alicia and the squadron on it too. 60 bases. SSS great. Another chest. Back home. Maiden sent off to rest. I open it immediately. 100 gold divine blueprint. Hall of Heroes. I check the panel. Hall of Heroes. Divine tier, 10 million HP 30 loyalty to all units / heroes stores soul imprints. Fallen units / heroes can be resurrected here once. Daily, can summon an ancient spirit of any unit type already in your roster. Strength scaling with that unit's talent tier, no upper cap upgrade needs. Wood, stone, gold, and a soul crystal. I stop. Read it again. Wait. Is this resurrection? I am genuinely thrilled. Losing a strong unit permanently is basically every lord's nightmare scenario in this world. That's why everyone hoards cannon fodder units and babies their real fighters, because death here is final without some absurdly rare revival item. This building just casually erases that entire fear. And it's not just resurrection. I can summon an ancient version of any unit type I already have, once a day, with literally no power ceiling on how strong that summon could be. So tomorrow I could be calling in an ancient tier holy angel or frost maiden into battle, who knows how strong. Once a day is a limit, sure, but it's an absurd limit to have it all. On top of that, 30 loyalty. Stack that with everything else, and my total loyalty's basically sitting right at the edge of 200, just 3 points short. I am dying to know what happens past the 200 mark. But first things first, get this building up so my squad has a safety net. I take a breath. Place it. Gold light flies out toward the center of my territory, settles, and begins to take shape. A massive, imposing structure starts rising from the ground. The Hall of Heroes finishes forming. 20 meters tall, dark gold stone, carved with battle scenes from every race imaginable, massive bronze doors glowing with faint blue runes. A blue gem the size of a fist floats at the very top, lighting up the whole territory. I push the doors open and step inside. The hall's enormous. A giant stone monument dominates the center, covered in glowing names, each one tied to a tiny floating light. Right now, none of those slots are filled. They're waiting for soul imprints. Everyone, come leave your soul imprint in the hall. The whole squad gathers, and even my super divine angels and maidens look genuinely stunned at this building's presence. They can feel how significant it is just standing near it. Master, what is this? Alicia and Cold Moon ask, both curious. I explain it. Resurrection, basically guaranteed, as long as the imprint's recorded. As long as this hall stands, none of you are ever truly at risk of dying. I promise you that. The reaction is immediate and overwhelming. In this world, units are normally just property, disposable, expendable, no different from resources to most lords. My squad clearly understands this is not how their lord treats them, and it visibly hits hard. Several of them just hug me on the spot, completely overcome. You're all my wings, I tell them gently. Of course I'm not going to let anything happen to you. Go on, go leave your mark. No hesitation. Every single angel and maiden files in and imprints their soul onto the monument. The names light up gold one by one, until all 132 lights are glowing steadily. I let out a long breath watching them flicker. My squad's finally got a real safety net. Even if the worst happens in battle, it's not actually the end anymore. Back at the mansion, waiting for the next dungeon cooldown, I do what I always do now. Relax with Alicia and Cold Moon flanking me on either side, scrolling chat. Chat's a disaster zone. My units are starving. Does anyone have food? Paying premium. Where would we get extra food? You recruited too many units. That's on you. PSA. Hungry units lose loyalty fast. Mine are giving me looks like they want to eat me now. Can confirm. Mine started dropping loyalty at lunch. I overheard them plotting to literally eat me. Need help. Kind of urgent. My units haven't eaten in over a day. They're rioting. I can't control them. They're coming for me. Help. Hang on. Are you okay? You don't sound eaten. I've got spare food. I can share. Oh, thank you, big bro. I'll definitely. Ow. Thanks so much. Someone snarks. Wasn't her unit a goblin? Suspicious. I scroll through with mild amusement. Clearly some clown content mixed in there, but it confirms something real. Food shortages are hitting hard across the board. Units genuinely need to eat, mine included. The only difference is my cafeteria infinitely generates divine tier meals, so my squads never even had to think about this problem. If I hadn't pulled that building, I'd be out here risking my neck hunting too. I briefly consider selling food on the market, easy profit, given the shortage. But I immediately drop the idea. My cafeteria's output is way too high tier to sell, without basically handing my enemies a massive power-up. Not happening. Meanwhile, somewhere else, Yi Fan is reading the exact same chat meltdown, smiling like a man with a plan. He remembers this exact crisis from his past life. Day 2. Food shortage, leading to loyalty collapse, leading to mass desertions, right before a random disaster dungeon hits territories directly on day 3. Earthquakes, floods, monster raids, bandit attacks, whatever the system rolls. First real beginner period test. Fail it, you're eliminated. Last time around, he got a monster raid and barely survived off the meat from the kills. This time, with his crit talent, killing even one monster solves his entire food problem instantly. And since he knows it's coming, he can prep in advance while everyone else scrambles blind. Stockpile resources now, sell high after the dust settles, snowball hard into day 5's dungeon unlock. Subai, he mutters, just wait. Once I catch up, I'm putting you in the ground myself. He pulls his wood and stone listings off the market. He's already banked his early profits. No need to keep selling cheap. Better to wait out the disaster and sell at a markup once everyone's desperate. Then he remembers something else from his past life, a name. Lu Ruyan, another mythic talent holder from this exact region, someone who eventually rose to real power within her family. Word was she had it rough early on. If he steps in now and helps her through it, she'd owe him. And hey, beautiful and powerful, sounds like a win either way. He grins, finds her in chat history, and fires off a DM. Quick aside on what's happening elsewhere, since it loops back to me eventually. Yifan spends a while crafting the perfect opening line to Lu Ruyan, settles on. Hey you there, followed almost immediately by spamming her with free resources before she even responds. 200 wood, 200 food, no strings attached. In his head, already planning how grateful she'll be once she's powerful, and he's the guy who helped her first, Lu Ruyan, staring at an unsolicited gift from a total stranger with a username almost as obnoxious as her own ego, is immediately suspicious. Random gifts from strangers always have a catch. But she's also out of food, and watching her mermaid unit eye her with increasing hunger. So she takes the resources, sends back a one-line, "Thanks, you're a good person," and immediately closes the chat, fully intending to ghost him and never acknowledge the debt again. Classic. Then, and this is the part that actually involves me, she screenshots the gift and sends it straight to MY DMs, basically bragging. Hey, cheapskate. Look, someone else sent me free resources, and I'm Chinese nobility, and once the beginner period ends my family's going to invest heavily in me. So buying my barracks was your chance to get in good with me, and you blew it. I read this message lying on my couch, Alicia on one side cold, Moon on the other, and just mutter. Is this girl having some kind of episode? I type back exactly one character. Oh, send. Close chat. Move on with my life. Alicia leans over, curious. Master, who was that? Two clowns finding each other, I say, completely unbothered. Some simp who opened with "Hey you there," and a self-proclaimed little goddess. Genuinely a perfect match. Iconic duo, really. Meanwhile, Lu Ruyan stares at my one-word reply like it personally insulted her ancestors. Duh. Oh, he just said OH? She's vibrating with rage. She's literally nobility. Illegitimate, sure, but still technically a Lu. Mythic tier talent. Guaranteed family investment post-beginner period. How dare this random anonymous trader respond with one syllable of pure indifference. But then her brain, which is genuinely sharp, illegitimate daughter forced to be clever sharp, catches up with her anger. Wait, he heard, noble family, and had zero reaction. Either he doesn't understand what that means, unlikely, he clearly knows the market inside and out, or his own background is at least as powerful as hers, possibly more. She narrows her eyes, fully convinced now. This guy's backing is probably equal to or bigger than the Lu family's. Which means pissing him off would be a mistake. Which means, ugh, she actually needs to be nice to him now. Years of being the overlooked, unloved daughter of a minor branch have made her annoyingly good at this kind of social calculation. She takes a breath, reopens our chat, and tries again, completely different energy this time. Lu Ruyan. Hey you there, Lu Ruyan. Meanwhile, sends me an entire essay trying to pitch a mutual benefit partnership, leaning hard into the "we're both probably noble family elites" angle. I don't respond at all, not because I'm playing it cool, but because I'm literally just busy fighting a dungeon and don't see the message. She, of course, reads my silence as ultimate power move energy, gets even more convinced I'm someone important, and spirals into a polite, fake grateful message to Yifan in the meantime, gritting her teeth through every word. Anyway, what I was actually doing. Dungeon cooldown clears, I head in, And the enemy base this time is brutal. 5-meter stone walls, hundreds of units packed inside, and 5 heroes, all epic tier. This is a genuine step up in difficulty. Cold Moon, Alicia. Both of you, full power, together this time. They nod at each other. Vast heavenly abyss. Cold Moon tears the sky open. Raging wave. Cleave heaven and earth. Alicia answers with gold light. Then everyone joins. Angels diving in. Archmages raining spells. Sword maidens slashing. Spell maidens unleashing AoE. All 130 units plus both heroes, going completely all in. The base just disappears under the combined assault. Walls crumble. Units vaporize. Heroes erased. Continue, I say, not letting up. Same loop, scaling difficulty. By base 40, Cold Moon and Alicia are visibly breathing hard. By base 50, the rank-and-file units are starting to flag. By base 60, Tier 3, Level 9, full Silver 9-star roster. It takes my entire combined force a full 59 seconds of sustained effort to bring it down. 59 seconds. That's basically an eternity by our standards. 60 bases. SSS, just barely. Reward chest secured. Back home, Cold Moon just sits down on the ground, completely drained, purple eyes heavy with exhaustion. Alicia leans against me, breathing hard. The rest of the squad is barely standing, swaying on their feet, full mana burnout. They threw out so many high-tier spells today that even with the Archmages and Spell Maidens constantly feeding mana back into the group, plus pre-buffed food, it was just enough to scrape through. Watching them like this actually hurts a little. I do some quick math. Today's difficulty hit its absolute ceiling. We barely made the SSS cutoff. One more second, and we might have missed it entirely. Starting tomorrow, I decide, we only push 2 levels a day, max safety first. I'll happily skip the first upgrade bonus if it means keeping the SSS grade locked in every time. And nobody gets hurt. I genuinely don't think I could handle watching that happen. I check the first upgrade reward, hoping it's something useful given the state everyone's in. Better hot spring soaking instantly clears all mental and physical fatigue, instantly restores all spirit, energy, and stamina. Comfort 20, a nice soak after a hard battle. What a treat. Perfect timing. Exactly what everyone needs right now. Place it. Pale blue light flies out and settles. A circular hot spring forms. White jade stone, 50 meters across, steam rising gently, flower petals drifting on the surface, smells incredible. Pale jade paths wind around the edges, lined with faintly glowing plants. Looks like something out of a fantasy painting. Only issue, it's huge, and my current walled territory might actually be too small to fit it comfortably alongside everything else. I'll need to expand the wall boundary, but that's tomorrow's problem. Building more wall needs resources I don't have spare right now, not until after a couple more dungeon runs. For now, I turn to my exhausted squad. Everybody go soak. Recover. Everyone freezes for a second, staring at the new hot spring, before erupting in cheers. They can already feel the relaxation radiating off it. Another rare gift. Another building that's exclusively for them. They're constantly noting that I keep providing all this stuff for them and never seem to indulge myself the same way. The guilt-tripping gratitude continues. To thank me, the entire squad just strips down and jumps in. All 130 of them. At once. Master, come join us. I stare at this scene and my brain just stops functioning. 130 absurdly gorgeous angels and maidens, all playing around in a steaming hot spring, visibility coming and going with the mist. I am one nosebleed away from a medical incident. Master, get in already, Alicia coos, and before I can even respond, several pairs of soft hands just pull me straight into the water. Warm water wraps around me, and instantly all the tension melts out of my body, like the spring is physically washing away exhaustion. Master, feeling good? Alicia asks, wrapped around me. I answer with complete, shameless honesty. Yeah, really good. Cold Moon leans lazily on my other shoulder, looking satisfied. Master, I want. You don't want. We're talking about that tonight. She smirks. Fine. I'll just collect a small advance, then. That I am choosing not to elaborate on what that meant. After the soak, I lie by the edge of the spring, completely refreshed, genuinely zero fatigue, which is incredible, and open the chest. 100 gold divine blueprint. Eternal Tower, I check the panel. Eternal Tower, Divine Tier Passive, 100% HP and 100% defense to all territory buildings active. Opens a 10-second shield that makes the entire territory immune to all damage. Instantly heals 10% of all building HP. Then continues healing 1% per second afterward. Upgrade increases passive bonus, shield duration, and heal rates. I'm grinning so hard my face hurts. 10 seconds of total immunity. Doesn't matter who's attacking, gods, demons, whatever. They get nothing for 10 full seconds, and that window only gets longer with upgrades. Combined with the instant heal back and ongoing regen, this is basically undo button for an entire siege. This is, hands down, the single best survival tool I could have gotten. My biggest fear this whole time has been getting curb stomped by something I never saw coming before. I'm strong enough to defend myself. This building, paired with the Great Wall, makes my territory genuinely close to unkillable. Place it. Gold light flies to the territory's center, and a slender 30-meter tower rises, covered in glowing runes, golden bells chiming softly at every tier, a huge gem at the top casting light over the whole base. The moment it locks in, every building visibly looks sturdier, like they're wrapped in armor. Only downside, space is getting tight now. Gonna need more wall expansion tomorrow. I open regional chat and post, buying any type of crystal/crystal core. Price negotiable, DM me. Chat's pretty quiet these days. Everyone's too busy panicking about food to talk much, so my message actually gets noticed. A few DMs roll in, and I trade some wood and stone for assorted fire and frost crystals. Not exactly what I need yet, but stockpiling never hurts. That night, after dinner, I head back to the mansion to sleep. Alicia and Cold Moon exchange a look behind my back and quietly slip in after me. I barely get settled into bed before I notice both of them standing at the foot of it, smiling. Morning comes, and I wake up feeling like a husk of a man. Hollow eyes, pale, completely drained. I'm not exaggerating. I have to hold the wall just to walk out of the mansion. Straight into the hot spring. No hesitation. The warmth wraps around me and instantly washes away the exhaustion, mental and physical alike. By the time I crawl out, it's already 9 a.m. Check the system. New day, new talent draw available. Draw, 3 cards appear, gold, blue. 2 golds. My eyes go wide. I check the blue one first. Blue rare, West Sea. Boosts the Lord's speech/charisma. 20 starting loyalty for recruited villagers. Card description references some art student, name I've genuinely never heard of in my life. Skip. First gold unique. Chosen King. Restricts all future villager recruits to male only. Permanent 100 loyalty for male villagers. 500% all stats for males. 1 talent tier cap for everyone. I read this, look around at my 100+ angels and maidens, look back at the card, and just shake my head. Absolutely not. Why would I torch my entire current roster's relevance for a male-only future? And male units? For what? Fencing practice. Not my thing, personally. Second gold unique. Goddess descends. Restricts all future villager recruits to female only. Converts loyalty into devotion with a guaranteed floor of 100, devoted unto death. Devotion scales combat power upward. Includes special interaction bonuses. 500% all stats for females. 1 talent tier cap. I don't even finish reading before my smile is already maxed out. This one. Obviously this one. There is no decision to make here. Hesitating for even a second would be an insult to myself as a man. Gold light absorbs into me. Warmth spreads through my whole body. And something about my presence just shifts. Like I'm radiating something different now. I feel a new, deeper connection forming with every angel and maiden around me. Something beyond loyalty. Alicia immediately presses up against me. Master, you smell so good now. Cold Moon drifts over too. Eyes gone soft. Master, why do you feel so different? So much more. Commanding, every single angel and maiden is suddenly looking at me with that look. I get chills. This card didn't change them. It changed me. And the change in MY presence is what's flipping their loyalty into something even more intense. Anyway, back to business. Plan for today. Run both resource dungeons. Stockpile for the next wall expansion, since my buildings are eating up territory space faster than the wall can grow. Before I can even open the dungeon menu, A DM blows up my screen. Lurian, hey you there? Exhausted emoji. Lurian, what were you doing all night? Why aren't you answering? Lurian, please, just one reply. Lurian, one. Lurian, cheapskate. Lurian, come on, answer me. I have something important. Lurian, dude, you literally just posted asking to buy crystals and you can't even acknowledge me. Lurian, I'm losing it. Lurian, just acknowledge me already. Lurian, I just got a light crystal. Want it? Reply and it's yours. I raise an eyebrow. What does SHE want now? Checking the timestamps. Yeah, all of this happened while I was occupied in the hot spring with Alicia and Cold Moon. This girl's persistence is something else. But, light crystal, that's actually exactly what I need. Eternal Tower upgrade needs 1. Angel Barracks upgrade needs 1 too. I type back, what's the catch? I don't believe you're giving it away for free. She replies instantly, no catch at all. I genuinely just want to give it to you. Also wanted to get to know you better. I sit with this message for a second. Free? Genuinely free? In this world? People don't just give things away here, and definitely not to get to know some random anonymous trader. I've done literally nothing remarkable since arriving. I've been hiding in my territory the entire time. Nobody should care who I am. I know exactly what I'm worth here, and it's nothing notable, so I keep it simple. Not interested in getting to know you. Let's talk price. She reads this and apparently almost has a stroke. Free gift rejected? She's never had this problem before. Back home people line up to give her things, not turn her down. She fires back an entire essay, theorizing that I must be some big shot heir from another major family who's just too important to care about a measly light crystal, and proposing we team up since the beginner period is dangerous and we both benefit from pooling strength before returning home to claim our respective family backing. I read this whole thing and feel a headache forming, but I push through it, and that's when it clicks. She thinks I'm secretly some powerful noble family scion. I narrow my eyes. Interesting. This girl's gullible, a little dim, and clearly running on pure wishful thinking. That's actually useful. I can keep my anonymity intact, let her assume whatever she wants about my status, and use the partnership purely for what it's worth. She's got real talent, and will presumably get real family backing eventually, which makes allying with her a decent long-term cover and resource channel. Sure, I reply. 2 words, total. I send over some starting food, plus 200 wood and 200 stone, stuff I genuinely don't need anymore. Calling it a fair trade for the crystal and barracks blueprint she's offering, even though I'm massively coming out ahead on value. She, naturally, reads my agreement as confirmation that the partnership is officially on, and breathes a sigh of relief. Her territory's stuck in a literal desert with a mermaid unit that has zero business being there, and without outside help she was genuinely facing elimination. She sends over the crystal and a blueprint. Common green lizard barracks. Basic tier, 150 free recruits, /day, low ceiling. I check it, shrug, and build it anyway. Build. The blueprint flies out toward an empty plot, and the second it lands, instead of the usual green light, it erupts into blinding gold. The whole territory shudders. Ding. Common barracks evolving. Ding. Evolution complete. Acquired Immortal Divine tier barracks. Primordial Dragon Nest. The light clears and a massive structure rises. 100 meters tall, dark gold stone, shaped like a giant disc ringed by 9 dragon-carved pillars. At the center, a glowing hatchery pool full of golden liquid, dragon eggs scattered around it covered in shifting runes, and a fist-sized golden orb hovering above, slowly rotating, radiating raw authority. The air around it actually warps slightly. I just stand there, jaw open. This came from a common tier barracks? This feels more imposing than even my angel or maiden barracks. Primordial Dragon Nest. Immortal Divine tier HP. 5 billion 10 free recruits, /day. Insane. A unit type that's never existed before. Once fully grown, even Scorching Sun Realm beings could one-shot tier 3 deities. I take a breath. Another top-tier unit type. And I immediately understand why. My new goddess descends talent bumps the max talent tier of everything by 1, which means what used to be Super Divine bumped up to Immortal Divine, and Immortal Divine bumped up to something apparently above even that. Heart racing, I immediately check my other barracks too. Holy Angel Hall, Immortal Divine, was Super Divine, for billion HP. Frost Maiden Palace, Immortal Divine, was Super Divine, for billion HP, confirmed. Every single barracks on my territory just got bumped a full tier overnight, purely from one talent pull. The Angel and Maiden barracks both got full visual makeovers too. Angel 1's now a 12-winged celestial monument with a floating crown of light. The Maiden Palace turned into a literal 9-layer heavenly palace with a slowly rotating moon hovering over it. Both radiate this, don't even think about messing with us, energy now. I check Alicia and Cold Moon's stats immediately, practically vibrating with anticipation. Alicia, talent jumped to Immortal Divine King tier. HP, 132,518. Attack, 13,323. Defense, 10,645. New King tier skills unlocked on top of everything she already had. Cold Moon, same tier jump. HP, 72,114. Attack, 7,211. I almost actually jump out of my seat. 6-figure HP, 5-figure attack. A combined buff stack of 1,714% on top of base stats. That's not growth, that's an explosion. Every other Angel and Maiden got the same tier bump too. Across the board, Immortal Divine now, stats scaled up to match. But I force myself to calm down, because the real headline event is still waiting. The Dragon Nest. Dragons. Just the word alone implies something stronger than everything else combined. Recruit. The hatchery pool boils, gold liquid surging, 10 dragon eggs rising to the surface and cracking open. Out crawled 10 tiny black gold dragons, barely a meter long, golden vertical pupil eyes blinking curiously at the world. Small, sure, but even at this size, the bloodline pressure radiating off them makes the air ripple. Then the nest flares gold again, hero incoming. A unique dark gold egg rises out of the pool, and the entire territory's ambient magic gets visibly sucked toward it. It cracks open, and out comes a black dragon noticeably bigger than the others, scales deeper and richer, eyes glowing with something that looks suspiciously like ancient wisdom packed into a baby's body. A shadowy figure flickers behind the hatchling. A tall, regal woman in black gold dragon robes, twin horns, radiating, empress surveying her domain, energy without even trying. Then the figure flashes and merges directly into the little dragon. The dragon vanishes too. In its place, a small girl, maybe 7 or 8 years old, wearing a black dragon scale dress. With gold trim, jet black hair falling in natural curls, round baby fat cheeks, porcelain skin, and golden vertical pupil eyes carrying way more authority than a face this cute should be capable of projecting. She crosses her arms, tilts her chin up, and looks me over. "So you're my lord." Her voice is soft and adorable, but her tone is pure ice-cold arrogance. I just blink at her. A Tsundere lowly dragon. Of course this is what I get. "Hey, why aren't you saying anything?" Her lips pout slightly, though there's a flicker of hope behind the gold eyes. "I am the Dragon Emperor. How dare you ignore me?" I snap out of it and can't help but laugh. "You've got a fun personality, kiddo." Then, completely on impulse, I reach down and pinch her round little cheek. The texture is genuinely incredible. Dragon Emperor Ling Shuang absolutely did not expect to get cheek pinched on sight. Her whole face goes red instantly. "Why you? How dare? Nobody just touches my face like that," she stammers, voice shaking, trying to pull away, except some small part of her doesn't actually want to. "This human smells weirdly nice." She kinda wants to jest. Stick around him forever. Ling Shuang's having an internal crisis about whether to actually pull away, and in that hesitation window, I just keep rubbing her cheek. Genuinely great texture. Top tier cheek. "You're so cute, you little thing." Alicia's nodding along enthusiastically behind me. She's basically maternal instinct incarnate, and if I weren't standing here, she would have already scooped Ling Shuang up for cuddles. Carrot, don't call me cute. But, since you're apparently my lord, I suppose I'll graciously accept you. Ling Shuang plants her tiny hands on her hips, chin tilted up like she's granting me a favor. I crouch down to her eye level, smiling. "Then I'll be counting on you from now on." Her cheeks flush slightly, and she looks away. It's not for your sake. I just happen to find you tolerable." Then a quick sideways glance, muttered under her breath. I'm definitely not acknowledging you as my master. Adorable. Genuinely adorable. I check her stats panel and immediately stop smiling. Dragon Emperor Ling Shuang, Divine King Talent, Black Iron 1-star HP, 137,360 attack, 12,019 defense, 12,705 stamina, 11,332 spirit, 10,302, Divine King tier. Divine King tier. Divine King tier. Saying it 3 times because this should not be possible during the beginner period. I just stand there, completely blank. A Black Iron 1-star unit with 5-figure stats across the board. This rivals Alicia. Cold Moon doesn't even come close. I check a regular baby dragon for comparison. Primordial Dragon, Immortal Divine, Black Iron 1-star HP, 68,680 attack, 6,009. A regular unit has stats roughly equal to Cold Moon's base numbers. The dragon species is just operating on an entirely different scale than everything else I have. I need a minute to process this. Dragons are just unreasonable. But after the shock fades, I land on, this is good news. Stronger units under my banner means more safety for everyone. No complaints here. After bringing Ling Shuang and the 10 baby dragons into the fold, I use my light crystal to upgrade the Angel Hall. Costs 10,000 wood, 10,000 stone, plus the crystal. Upgrade. The hall gets even more imposing, more golden runes flickering across the surface. Ding. Upgrade complete. Tier 1, Level 1. Effect. 5 free daily recruits, now 15/day. 10% skill damage for all holy angels. Solid. Even if modest right now, it'll compound over many levels. I greedily mash recruit on the Angel and Frost Maiden barracks too. No new subtypes this time. Just the same 4 types as before, but my roster's now at 165 total units. Not a bad haul. Morning sun on the territory, and the cafeteria is absolutely packed. Battle angels, archmages, sword maidens, spell maidens, and now 10 baby dragons plus Ling Shuang, all crowded around the table eating. The dragon's food is on another level entirely. Dragon Blood Fruit, Divine King. Permanent 500 HP, 10% all stats, 24 hours Dragon Soul Crystal, Divine King. Permanent 5% Dragon Roar Power, 500%. Dragon Skill Power, 12 hours Dragon Feast, Divine King. 500% EXP for 24 hours. Slowly raises talent tier, same general structure as before, just scaled insane. What actually shocks me is their appetite. 1 baby dragon, 1, eats enough food for 100 people in a single sitting. 10 dragon blood fruits in 1 bite. 5 soul crystals at once. 3 full feast platters, gone instantly. And that's just per bite. They need way more than that to feel satisfied. Each dragon's plate is stacked into an actual mountain of food. My eye is twitching just watching this. If I didn't have an infinite supply cafeteria, these dragons alone would bankrupt me through sheer food cost. But hey, appetite aside, the combat power's absolutely real, so I'm not complaining. Lord, Ling Shuang waddles over on her tiny legs, carrying a little bowl, golden eyes hopeful. Here, for you. Inside the bowl, 1 single dragon blood fruit. I blink. This is your food. Why are you giving it to me? Ling Shuang's cheeks go pink, and she immediately looks away. I'm not giving it to you specifically. I just noticed you hadn't eaten anything, so, whatever, here. What she's actually not saying. She watched me hand over this absurdly precious dragon food to all of them while I sat there eating nothing myself, and assumed it was so rare that I was sacrificing my own portion to make sure they got stronger. Adorable misunderstanding. I'm keeping it. I just smile. I'm good. I've got my own food. And don't worry about eating me out of house and home. Supplies unlimited here. Eat as much as you want. Unlimited. Her round little eyes go wide. She glances at Alicia and Cold Moon for confirmation, sees no objection, and immediately believes it. Tiny legs pump as she sprints to the serving counter and comes back with plate after plate after plate. Watching her tiny silhouette hauling food back, I realize something she'd been holding back before, rationing herself out of some misplaced concern for my limited supply. This whole time she's been the responsible one in the room. Adorable and considerate. Devastating combo. Fed and ready. I take the army to today's dungeons. Same 2 as before, wood and stone, since day 3 doesn't unlock anything new dungeon-wise. Villager unlocks happen today too, but that's after the grind. Go into the wood dungeon. Same forest, same wood sprites, except now I've got dozens of new maidens and 10 baby dragons in the mix. Combat power has gone completely unhinged. Go ahead, take everything. Ling Shuang waves her tiny hand. Divine King, Void Domain. A black field of pressure blankets the entire forest, sprites freezing mid-motion, trembling like they've sensed an apex predator. Then all 10 baby dragons open their mouths at once. Dragon's breath, 10 beams of golden fire sweep the forest, vaporizing everything in sight in a single pass. I just stare. That's what baby dragons can do. Angels and maidens jump in too. Light beams, sword arcs. But compared to the dragons, they're clearly a tier behind now. Still, I keep all 3 legions actively rotating through the fight for shared EXP, since this dungeon's basically the best training ground available right now. An hour later, with dungeon results. 184,721 sprites killed 6.156 million would collected directly massive card hauls across every tier, including 174 legendary cards, 921 tier 1 wood crystals, SSS grade multiples higher than yesterday. Mostly the crit talent doing absurd amounts of heavy lifting. Next, Stone Dungeon, same deal. 1 hour later, 173,458 sprites killed 6.084 million stone collected 1 stone crystal crit hit 8,000x, netting 8,000 crystals in 1 drop SSS grade back home. I do the full conversion math. On the cards, with total, including cards 271 million units stone total, including cards 146 million units crystals, 927 wood, 8,182 stone, I check my full vault and just start grinning uncontrollably. Yes, I throw out an actual victory fist pump. This crit talent is genuinely broken, in the best possible way. Wall expansion is no longer a resource problem. Not even close. I survey my current territory layout and immediately notice the obvious issue. It's a mess. Completely unplanned. Buildings crammed wherever there was space because I never had room to actually design anything. Time to fix that. Now that resources aren't the bottleneck, expanding and properly laying out the wall is finally realistic. First things first, mansion upgrade. Currently tier 1, level 6, after just 2 days of grinding. For context, most lords are barely hitting level 3 by day 3, and even talented ones rarely beat that pace. I'm not just ahead, I'm in a different race entirely. Upgrade. Ding. Tier 1, level 7. Ding. First in the region, again. Ding. Reward. Choose 20 tier 1 crystals of your choice. Nice. Pocket it, move on. Challenge dungeon unlocks automatically. I check everyone's stats before heading in. 2 days of dungeon grinding has pushed all 3 legions to Black Iron 7-star, heroes to Black Iron 8-star. Alicia. HP 145,769 attack 14,655 Cold Moon. HP 157,899 attack 15,789 Ling Shuang. HP 324,574 attack 30,215 Ling Shuang's numbers are basically double the other 2 heroes. And that's not even the real gap. In an actual fight, she could probably solo 10 Elysius or 10 Cold Moons without sweating. Dragons just don't follow the normal scaling rules other races do. No weaknesses, ridiculous durability, and damage simultaneously. She could probably punch above her weight class against even some weaker Gold Realm enemies, where normally Realm Suppression would crush anyone trying that. 1 realm above costs you 50% power, 2 costs 80%, 3 costs 99%. Even suppressed to scraps. Her base numbers are high enough to still be relevant. Tempting to push 3 levels today and test that theory against an actual gold tier opponent. But no, not today. Staying safe, securing the SSS grade, patience over greed. Into the dungeon. Enemy base, tier 1 level 7. Half a dozen unit types lined up on the walls. Honestly, don't even bother checking their stats anymore. Literally any single skill from my roster clears this now. Go ahead, I say casually. Ling Shuang answers immediately, golden eyes sparking with excitement. I'll handle it. Void domain. Black field blankets the entire base. All 10 baby dragons open their mouths in unison. Dragon's breath. The base doesn't even survive a full second. Same loop, 60 bases, SSS grade. Basically a stroll this time. Zero tension anywhere in the run. Back home, squad sent off to rest. I bring my 3 heroes back to the mansion with me. 3 chests waiting. Perfect time to open them all together. Alicia and Cold Moon settle in behind me, both massaging my shoulders and head simultaneously. Ling Shuang's curled up in my lap, arms crossed, cheeks puffed out, glaring up at me with the most adorable fake fury I've ever seen. Stupid lord. Stop poking my face. I, completely unbothered by her protests, continue ringing her cheek anyway. It's just too good. Soft, round, perfectly squeezable, and the more I poke, the more she bares her teeth at me like a tiny dragon kitten. Fine. I'm only letting you do this once, she declares, before settling in and letting me keep doing exactly that. Eventually, I stop teasing her and turn to the chests. First, Wood Dungeon Reward. 100 Gold Divine Wonder. Eternal Tree. I check the panel. Eternal Tree. Divine Tier can be chopped infinitely, never depletes output scales with chopping speed. No cap each chop grants. 10 wood. A tree that never falls. As long as you've got the energy to swing an axe, it's got wood to give. A literal infinite wood glitch, baked into a tree. Of course. Infinite wood. Infinite wood. I'm immediately doing the math in my head. This game only gets more resource hungry as it goes. Late game building upgrades cost upward of 100 million units. A normal forest, no matter how big, eventually runs dry. My territory's forest could be entirely clear-cut and still not hit that number once. This tree solves that problem permanently. Wood becomes just a number I never have to think about again. Only catch, output scales with chopping speed, not just access. If I only chop once an hour, I'm only getting a few hundred units a day, which is nothing. My combat units are way too valuable to waste on manual labor. Ling Shuang chopping would be like hiring a tank to deliver pizza. This tree needs a dedicated specialist, which conveniently is exactly what villagers are for, and villagers unlock today. Perfect timing. Next chest, Stone Dungeon Reward. 100 Gold Divine Wonder. Nirvana Stone. Same deal as the tree, infinite chopping. Air, mining, 10 stone per strike, never depletes epic item. Tremor Core. Forms a protective shield over the territory. I check the Tremor Core and immediately lose interest. I already have the Eternal Tower doing this job, and better. Pocket it anyway, never know. Final chest, Upgrade Dungeon Reward. 100 Gold Divine Blueprint. Villager Hall. I check the panel and immediately stand straight up out of my seat, startling Ling Shuang, who was curled up in my lap. Lord, what are you doing? She huffs, cheeks puffing up in protest. Sorry, I say, settling back down, but I'm honestly still buzzing. Villager Hall, Divine Tier, cannot be upgraded. 10 billion HP, spend 100 gold to recruit 1 villager. Recruited villager talent floor, legendary. Ceiling, divine. Let me explain why this is insane. The vast majority of lords, statistically, basically all of them, end up with villagers stuck at common, rare, or maybe elite talent. Epic tier villagers are already a rarity. Legendary tier villagers are basically a myth. Even tier 10 Divine Realm territories rarely manage to land one, because the only ways to get villagers are natural migration or a recruitment center with a server-wide shared drop pool, meaning hundreds of millions of lords are all fishing from the same gacha pool with zero pity system. The odds of pulling epic or above are statistically nightmarish. There's an actual story about a divine tier lord who once tried to liquidate his entire fortune just to buy 1 legendary villager off the market and still couldn't land a deal. That's the level of scarcity we're talking about. A single high-talent villager can completely rewrite a lord's entire trajectory. Even the weakest, most unremarkable lord becomes a contender overnight if they luck into one. My building guarantees legendary as the floor, with divine as the ceiling, a tier I've literally never even heard mentioned before now. I am beyond excited. I drag everyone outside immediately. Build it. The blueprint flares gold and settles, and a gorgeous white jade palace rises up. 10 meters tall, golden double doors carved with scenes of farmers, miners, blacksmiths, merchants, the whole working-class fantasy. Looks like an actual royal palace. I checked the standard villager recruitment center for comparison. Not even close. This thing is operating in a completely different visual tier. I push the doors open. Inside is modest. One main hall, centered on a golden fountain with glowing water, and beside it a stone tablet listing the rules. Recruitment cost: 100 gold, first pull, 200 gold, second, 300 gold, third, scaling up. Capped eventually at 100 divine source coins per pull. Result: random, floor legendary, ceiling divine. This is, without question, the single most important building I've gotten yet. Time to start pulling. Okay, there's a slight catch. The price scales every pull. But honestly, doesn't matter. A legendary tier villager is worth way more than 100 gold, no matter how high the price climbs. Every single pull from this fountain is profit, period. I dump every gold coin I have into this thing without blinking. I check my balance. 678 saved up, plus 300 from today's chests, totaling 978. Enough for 3 pulls. Not enough. I want 4. Quick detour to the market. List 10,000 units each of wood and stone, priced absurdly cheap. 1 to 2 gold for the whole batch, when market rate is normally silver per unit. Basically charity pricing, but I don't care, I just need quick gold. Sells out instantly. There's always someone rich enough to snap up a deal like that in a world with billions of lords. 270 gold banked. Total, 1,248. For pull secured. Let's start. I toss 100 gold into the fountain. Light flares, and out steps a stunning woman. About 5 feet 7 inches, in plain peasant clothes that somehow do absolutely nothing to hide a figure that should not exist in nature. Narrow waist, full hips, gorgeous face, an axe in hand, and a chest that is genuinely testing the structural integrity of basic peasant fabric. Muwan, mythic talent. Lumberjack 1000% chopping efficiency, 1000% extra, wood per chop chance for higher grade, wood chance for bonus resource cards chance for premium wood, sells for serious money. I almost choke. A normal villager chops 1 tree an hour. This woman could chop 1 tree per second, and get 11x the wood from it, plus a chance at bonus cards or premium materials every single swing. Stack this with my eternal tree, infinite chopping, and my divine lumber mill, 1000% production. Thought the math here is going to break the game. I genuinely can't even calculate what daily output looks like with all 3 stacking. Muwan, at your service, my lord. She bows, blushing the second she catches me staring, voice soft and melodic. Welcome aboard, I say, shaking her hand immediately. This woman is a strategic asset, treat her accordingly. She blushes harder at the handshake. Then, very quietly, Lord, would tonight work? Also, if we have children, can the boy be named Suyun and the girl Suhi? I just blank out. She's already named our hypothetical future kids. We have known each other for exactly 11 seconds. I awkwardly pull my hand back. Sorry, that was forward of me. I didn't mean. It's fine, she says, completely unbothered, sneaking glances at me like a shy little bunny whenever she thinks I'm not looking. To cover my own embarrassment, I throw 200 more gold into the fountain immediately. Second pull. Another woman, this one in leather armor that's somehow even tighter, pickaxe slung over her shoulder, bustline arguably bigger than Muwan's, the armor visibly straining at the seams. Sure. Yao, mythic talent. Miner 1000% mining efficiency, 1000% extra stone per mine chance for higher grade stone chance, for resource cards chance for rare gemstones. Usable for equipment socketing, another absolute unit. And gemstones specifically are a whole new resource category. Future equipment will apparently have socket slots, and her gem drops directly buff whatever gear they're slotted into. Premium wood, premium stone, now premium gems. Everyone in this world is fighting over this exact category of loot, and I just casually acquired the source. Third pull, 300 gold in. This one's wearing a leather apron over a bare midriff, narrow waist, a boning knife strapped to one leg, holding an enormous cleaver still wet with blood, gorgeous face paired with an unsettlingly seductive vibe given the whole butcher aesthetic going on. Smaller chest than the previous 2. Actually the smallest of anyone besides the Dragon Kids, but easily the best legs I've seen yet. Pure long leg, slim, perfectly proportioned. Tuya, mythic talent. Butcher 1000% butchering efficiency, 1000% meat yield, high chance of rare ingredients, high chance of full intact materials from kills, high chance of crystal drops from processing, another absurd one. The food side doesn't matter much to me. My cafeteria is already top tier, but the last two effects are gold. Beast materials are basically lottery tickets for crafting gear, and normal lords can kill 100 monsters and not get a single usable drop. Hand the carcass to Tuya, and that drop rate skyrockets. Same deal with crystals, which I am desperately short on, since every divine building I own needs one to upgrade, and literally nobody's selling them in chat. I'm already planning to send angels out hunting just to feed her processing line. One more pull before I stop. For 100 gold in. This time the light shifts, full blinding gold, brighter than the others. A divine pull. The light clears, and out steps a woman in a sharp, tailored business suit. Curves the suit is clearly fighting a losing battle against chest rivaling Shi Yao's, buttons under visible string. Pencil skirt, thigh-high stockings, black stiletto heels, gold wireframe glasses, calm professional smile. Full, ruthless corporate executive energy. A businesswoman archetype. In a medieval fantasy world. I am so into this. Hello, my lord. I'm Qin. Pleased to be summoned. I will serve you faithfully for the rest of my existence. Her voice is exactly the cool, composed, older sister register I'm apparently developing a type for. I check her panel immediately. Qin, divine talent. Financial steward 100% bonus to any currency income 1 daily market analysis. Price prediction. 0 market transaction fees trade discounts ranging 0.1x to 0.5x on any purchase 1 free trade per day. No cost whatsoever. I just stopped breathing for a second. That last effect. Let that sink in. Any listing on the market, including, eventually, server-wide listings once the beginner period ends and we all merge into the main world, she can claim for free. Once a day? No payment required. No haggling. Nothing. If someone lists a literal mythical artifact worth an astronomical sum, she just takes it for free. I take several deep breaths, trying to process the sheer scale of what I just pulled. Welcome, all of you. Let's build something great together. I manage, recovering my composure. Qin licks her lip, smiling with something dangerous behind it. Thank you, my lord. I'll be by your side, forever. Muwan, gentle. Don't worry about wood, my lord. I've got it handled. Shi Yao, slapping her chest proudly, visibly distracting, stones covered. Tuya, grinning. Nobody's going hungry with me around. I'm thrilled. Genuinely, deeply thrilled. While I'm in the middle of settling everyone in, the system interrupts. Ding. Attention, all lords. Disaster dungeon incoming. Prepare your defenses. Your territory rolled. Beast migration. A massive wave of monsters is about to pass through your territory. Survive the assault to claim rewards. Monster count scales with territory level. Countdown, 30 minutes. I blink. The disaster event. Random, unavoidable, unpredictable timing. But if you survive it, the rewards are huge. I quickly check my territory layout and realize a problem. It's a mess, and a chunk of my buildings are sitting outside my current 1-kilometer wall, completely unprotected. If the migration brings something nasty, that's a real vulnerability. Wall expansion. Now, I do the math. Today's hauls put me well over 100 million combined resources. Plenty to work with. Target. Extend the wall to 3 kilometers total, fully enclosing everything. I start cashing in resource cards in bulk, burning through tens of thousands of common, rare, and elite cards to hit the 30 million would slash 30 million stone target, keeping 3,000 of each common card reserved for the upcoming upgrade cost. Build. Gold-brown light explodes outward, tracing the new path. Meter by meter, the wall extends out to a full 3 additional kilometers, bringing the total to 4 kilometers, enclosing over 1 million square meters. Every single building gets pulled safely inside the perimeter after some frantic rearranging. I let out a breath. Crisis averted, at least on the defense front. All right, bring it on. However many monsters you've got, I'll handle every single one. As long as nothing god tier shows up, my territory's basically unbreakable at this point. And if the wave is big, even better. More kills means more crystal drops through Tuya's processing line. Quick aside again, before I get back to the actual monster wave. I'm not even slightly worried about this disaster event. Wall immune to anything under 10,000 power, 1% HP regen per second, plus the Eternal Tower's 10-second invincibility window as a panic button. Short of an actual god showing up, nothing in a beginner period disaster event is touching my territory. And gods definitely aren't showing up this early. Meanwhile, regional chat is in absolute chaos. Flash flood disaster. My base is at the bottom of a hill. I think I'm getting wiped. Somebody lend me wood and stone. Cry harder. That's just weather. My disaster is 2 diamond rank creatures fighting directly above my territory. The shockwaves alone are about to level me. Got hit with bandit raid. Black iron 5-star bandits. My units are only black iron 2-star. I'm cooked. Somebody help. Same here. My goblins already half deserted. The rest are negotiating with the bandits to hand me over. Brutal stuff out there. Meanwhile, Yi Fan's watching this exact chaos with a smug grin because he remembers this disaster event from his past timeline and knows exactly how it plays out. He also remembers something specific. Lu Ruyan, in that timeline, found an epic tier item called Provoke, basically forces every nearby monster to aggro onto the holder. Useless for someone weak, but in the right hands, it's a guaranteed kill farm. He wants it badly enough to start carpet bombing her with free resources to soften her up before asking. He DMs her, gets ignored at first, sends 1,000 units of free stuff, gets an instant reply this time, shocking, I know, and asks directly about the item. She claims she's never heard of it. He's confused. He remembers this clearly from his past life, and just assumes the timelines shifted slightly due to his own reincarnation messing with the butterfly effect. He sends another 2,000 units of resources as a goodwill gesture anyway, fully convinced she'd never lie to someone this generous, especially someone this pretty. Famous last words. She, of course, takes the resources instantly and laughs the second the chat closes, calling him an easy mark, basically. Then immediately pivots and messages me with the exact same item pitch, word for word, framing it as a gift between allies. I finally respond after about 10 minutes of just being busy. What item? She instantly sends over the item details. Ice's Scorn, epic tier forces all enemy units within 1 kilometer to aggro permanently onto the holder. She's roasted a lot of people, including you. The flavor text alone has personality. I read the effect and immediately get it. Point this at a monster migration event, and I just turned a survival challenge into a free kill farm. Every single monster funnels straight to me. Decent. Has some use. Send it over. She transfers it instantly. No haggling this time. Then immediately follows up. Wait, is your disaster the monster migration? Yeah. Do you need help? Wait. No. You mean you're going to use the item to pull every monster onto yourself? Can you actually survive that? Don't need help. Easy. She reads my completely unbothered response, and her whole perception of me ratchets up another notch. Clearly this guy isn't even slightly worried, which means he's either insane or absurdly overpowered, and she's betting on the latter. Must be real, noble family confidence. To square the trade, I send her an epic tier item I have 0 use for. The Tremor Core, the shield item I pulled earlier and immediately benched in favor of my Eternal Tower. Fair trade. Mutual benefit. That's all I send before going quiet again. She checks the item's stats and her jaw drops. Her own disaster roll is a sandstorm, and Genesis Realm sandstorms apparently come laced with actual magic, capable of burying and destroying entire territories outright. She'd already taken heavy losses just acquiring that Scorn item in the first place. Lost almost half her mermaid units scavenging for it outside her walls. Without that protection, she was genuinely facing elimination. Now, fully covered. Free pass through the disaster. In her head, this confirms everything. Clearly I've been watching over her this whole time. Clearly I'm some pampered heir of a top-tier divine family. Clearly fate has somehow decided to throw a tyrannical but secretly caring noble scion into her path. Her imagination runs absolutely wild with this narrative. I am, for the record, none of these things. I'm just a guy with a busted talent who doesn't need a defensive item anymore. Back to me. I close the chat, toss the Scorn item into inventory, completely indifferent to whatever fantasy is playing out in her head. To me, Lu Ruyan is just a useful pawn, gullible, prone to wild assumptions, easy to manage, and a decent shield for keeping my real identity quiet. The tremor core I gave up cost me nothing, so this whole exchange was pure profit. Master, I'm sensing a huge number of monsters approaching from that direction, Alicia says softly. Looking west, she can feel them gathering already. Get ready, everyone. Fight's coming. Cold Moon stretches lazily, purple eyes glinting with anticipation. Let them come. Doesn't matter how many. We'll kill every last one. A low rumble rolls in from the distance. The ground starts shaking. I walk to the wall, look out at the horizon. Dust clouds. Thousands of shapes charging toward us. Here we go. System notification. Ding. Disaster Dungeon. Beast Migration. Activated. Territory level. Tier 1. Level 7. Difficulty. Hell. Monster count. 10,000. Monster tier. Black Iron 7-star to Silver 1-star. Guaranteed Silver rank boss. Objective. Hold the territory or wipe the entire wave. I. Raise an eyebrow. Hell difficulty. I remember being taught that disaster difficulty scales with how fast a lord is developing, and apparently only one person in recorded history has ever cleared Hell tier, and they scored S rank doing it. That person's currently the strongest human alive, and somehow my unhinged growth rate just put me in that exact bracket. Interesting. I'll take it as a compliment. I pull out Ice's Scorn. The second it activates, this venomous, mocking voice erupts from the item, practically dripping with contempt and insults, broadcasting in every direction. The charging beast horde stumbles to a halt. Every single one snaps its head toward my territory, eyes burning red. Grr, something's talking trash about me. Grower. I sense pure malice radiating from over there. Boss says level that territory. All of US. Charge. 10,000 newly insulted monsters surge forward like a tidal wave, ground shaking harder, dust blotting out the sky. I stand on the wall, completely calm, watching the chaos roll in. These are all Black Iron tier. Any single hero of mine could clear this solo. The horde reaches the 500-meter mark and stops dead. They're staring, utterly confused, at a wall that's only 1 meter tall, and yet somehow radiating more crushing presence than anything they've ever seen. And behind it, rows of angels, maidens, and baby dragons in full armor, each one giving off a pressure so heavy the monsters can barely breathe. Grr. Why does this tiny little wall feel like staring into the abyss? Grower, these territory buildings don't feel basic at all. Are you sure this is a beginner lord? Boss. Are you actually serious about us attacking this place? Oh, whoa. Boss, are we gonna die? Aolo, do I have to go too? The entire horde just falls into stunned, terrified silence. The frontline monsters realize something's deeply wrong, but it's too late. The herd behind them is still surging forward, pushing them straight into the meat grinder. Grower, no, I don't want to fight. This is a death sentence. AWOO, stop pushing. We can't win this. Honk. Quit shoving me. I want to run. I watch the chaos unfold with a grin. You came all this way. No leaving now. Ling Shuang doesn't wait for an order. She leaps off the wall, and her tiny form instantly expands midair into a massive, several-meter-long black-gold dragon. Void Domain. A black field crashes over the entire horde. Half of them just collapse on the spot, shaking uncontrollably under raw dragon presence alone. All 10 baby dragons open their mouths. Dragon's breath. 10 beams of golden fire sweep across the battlefield like lasers. Entire rows of monsters vaporized, not even ash left behind. Alicia joins next, casually swinging her blade. Raging wave. Cleave heaven and earth. Hundreds gone in one slash. Space itself warping along the cut. Cold Moon. Not to be outdone. Vast heavenly abyss. Purple light rains from a torn sky, erasing anything it touches. 3 heroes, 1 opening move each, and the entire front line is just gone. Then everyone else pours in. Angels with golden wings unfurled, slicing through dozens per swing, blood splattering harmlessly off their armor. Maidens floating and untouched by a single drop, magic barriers deflecting everything. 100+ units plus 3 heroes, completely unleashed outside the wall. The monsters are in full meltdown. These things have apparently flattened countless other territories, crushed armies, ended lords. And here, it's not even a fight. It's a one-sided slaughter. They try fleeing. Ling Shuang's domain pins them in place. They try fighting back. Their attacks don't even scratch armor. The hidden silver tier boss tries slipping away the second things go south, and Ling Shuang just slaps a clawed paw down on it, like swatting a bug. What is this? Some kind of insect. One dragon breath later, and a genuinely powerful silver boss dies the most undignified death imaginable. Total fight time, under 10 minutes. Final monster drops. Battlefield's just corpses, and the squad does a quick aerial sweep finishing off anything still twitching. System chimes in. Ding. Beast migration successfully repelled. Kills, 12,437 total. 8,342 black iron. For 1,095 bronze. For silver, 1 silver boss. Grade. SSS. Reward. 1x SSS disaster chest. I look at the numbers, completely satisfied. 12,000 monsters, 10 minutes, 0 damage taken. The wall doesn't even have a scratch on it. That felt even better than watching Alicia and Cold Moon go off. Alicia lands beside me a second later, armor dissolving away back into casual wear. Master, you worked so hard out there. It's filthy out here. Let's head back. I just stare at her. Worked hard? I stood on a wall and watched. For 10 minutes. That was the entirety of my contribution. I don't say that out loud though. You all are the real MVPs today. Pool party tonight. Full divine buffet. Hot springs wide open. You've all earned it. Cold Moon drifts over. Eyes gone dangerously soft, licking her lips. Can I indulge in Master tonight? Me, internally. She's still on this. Ling Shuang shifts back to her small form, struts over self-importantly. Lord, what are you all talking about? I want in too. I do not clarify what in entails. Nothing, just, you get good food tonight too. She blushes immediately and looks away. Humph. Like I even care about that food. Battle's over, but the real work's just starting. Qin Lan clicks over in her heels, professional smile locked in. My lord, good news. Go ahead. She adjusts her glasses, flips open her ledger. I've been monitoring the market throughout the disaster. Mass territory destruction across the region means wood and stone prices are skyrocketing. She pulls up live data. Wood, 1 silver/5 units, for 100% in 30 minutes. Stone, 1 silver/2 units, 500%. I raise an eyebrow. That dramatic, huh? And still climbing. My projection, prices double again within the hour. If you sell now, my lord, the profit margin is massive. I check chat to confirm. Please somebody, my whole territory collapsed. I need wood to rebuild, paying double rate. Mine got hit too. Barely anything left. Anyone willing to donate resources? You're lucky. I've only got my mansion left standing. At least I've got gold to spend. Buying in bulk. One desperate goblin handler offering. Let's not get into it. Setting aside the weird ones, the takeaway's clear. Everyone's desperate. Markets instantly absorbing anything listed. Qin Lan, you're in charge of the market from here on out. List everything in storage except epic tier and above cards. Yes, my lord. She adjusts her glasses, smile turning razor sharp. Don't worry. I'll make sure you walk away from this rich. She clicks off toward the office in her heels, and I watch her go, already wondering exactly how big this windfall's about to be. Right after Qin Lan heads off, I call over to ya. Master, those monster corpses. She licks her lips, eyes practically sparkling with anticipation. Can I take care of those? I look out at the field full of dead monsters and nod. That's exactly why I called you over. Go for it. Process all of them. Thank you, Master. She grabs her cleaver and heads straight out, and I send 2 angels along with her, just in case some half-dead monster decides to get one last desperate swing in. Can't risk her. Outside, she walks up to the first body, a massive boar-type monster, easily 500 kilos, and one swing of her cleaver later, the entire carcass is divided into a dozen perfectly clean cuts. Hide, meat, bone, sinew, organs, all neatly sorted. Ding. Butchered black iron tier boar, 5,432 meat, 15 premium loin, 10 hides, 10 sinew/bone, 1 raw crystal. Ding. Crit triggered. 10x. 54,320 meat, 100 hides, 150 loin, 100 sinew/bone, 10 crystals. I just stare at this. From 1 pig. 5,000 units of meat from a single 500 kilograms animal. That's not butchering. That's a small economic miracle. Conservation of mass has officially left the chat. She keeps going, cleaver moving in a blur, monster after monster reduced to perfectly organized loot piles. The notification spam doesn't stop. Meat, hides, horns, crystals, crit, 132x, crit, 1000x, 12,000 monsters times 2 years processing rate, times my crit talent on top of that. I genuinely can't even estimate the total haul anymore. Food I don't even need that much, but crystals? Crystals are everything right now. Half my buildings are stuck waiting on crystal upgrades. She works for 3 straight hours. While she's grinding through corpses, I keep busy too. Challenge dungeon cooldown clears. I push the mansion to tier 1, level 8, clear the dungeon, and get a first upgrade reward, Dragon Blood Fruit Tree. Epic. Produces 1 fruit daily, each fruit permanently 1 strength stacks infinitely. I'm thrilled about this one specifically. It's the first reward I've gotten this entire run that boosts raw base stats instead of percentages. Everything I've collected so far is multiplicative bonuses, which are great, but stacking actual base numbers on top of those multipliers compounds way harder over time. Planting this immediately. It needs dragon blood or dragon crystals to level up, and I'm not risking my baby dragons for that. Just let it grow naturally, 1 fruit at a time. Patience. Then I open the actual chest from the dungeon clear. 100 gold divine blueprint. Warforge, I check the panel, and my eyes light up immediately. Warforge, divine tier, cannot be upgraded. 1 billion HP can craft any equipment type. Helm, chest, gloves, greaves, boots, weapon, belt, bracelet, necklace. At any quality. No restrictions. Ceiling depends purely on the crafter's talent. Up to Divine King grade gear 1000% crafting speed guaranteed success on. Every craft, every finished item gets 1 quality tier automatically. Every item comes with at least 3 enchantments normally. Gear in this world is craft restricted by type and tier. Different forges for different equipment slots. And you need a crafter with talent matching the quality you're aiming for. Failure rates climb sharply with quality 2. Past epic tier, failure chance is basically 90%, and legendary/mythic gear is even worse. This building eliminates the entire system. Any gear, any slot, on 1 forge. Guaranteed success means I never lose materials to a failed roll. The auto-upgrade quality effect alone is absurd. Craft an epic item, walk away with a legendary one every single time. And then it bolts on 3 enchantments minimum, where even 1 good enchantment normally transforms an item's entire value. Combine all 5 effects, and this building isn't just good. It's a complete monopoly on equipment production. Right as I'm soaking in how broken this just got, word comes back from Tuya. She's finished processing the entire battlefield.